Financing on all 2024 Buick Encore GXs at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The Buick Encore GX is a boldly styled 5-person SUV that is ready to reward up to $3,000 off and 0.9% financing for well-qualified buyers. This is a limited time offer. Experience the new Buick at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith and online at harryrobinson.com.
Come get you some. 2728 Townsend Avenue is your off-road and performance center headquarters. They've got everything from lift kits, wheels, LED light bars, UTV parts and accessories, winches, and tires. Need general 4x4 repair? No problem. Come Get You Some has one of the largest 4x4 shops in the States. They do it all, from installing a bug shield to building some of the baddest off-road machines in the country. Call them today at 782-6833. That's 782-MUD. Or check them out online at cgysoffroad.com. Come get you some.
Witz Marine, your authorized Mercury dealer, is ready to take care of your winterization needs. With cold weather just around the corner, be sure to get your Mercruiser stern drives drained and flushed with antifreeze. For those with outboards, it's a great time to change the oil and service the lower unit. Plus, treat your fuel for a trouble-free next season. Don't get caught this winter. It's also a great time to repower the old boat with a new reliable Mercury engine. That's Witz Marine, your authorized repower center. 823 North 11th next to Wheeler Power Sports in Fort Smith.
Hi, this is Lindsay White with White Office Machines. For over 90 years, my family's been serving the greater Fort Smith region with the image industry's newest technologies, as well as providing superior customer service through long-term business relationships. As the area's only authorized Kyocera document solutions dealer, White Office Machines provides the best value with high-speed copiers and the latest multifunction printers. Stop by our office in downtown Fort Smith or in Russellville. Follow us on Facebook or go to whiteoffice.com.
White Office Machines since 1929.
If you knew all that Jody's Auto Service Centers can do for your vehicle and you'd never take your vehicle anywhere else.
My fleet is small, 14 trucks and cars. It's a struggle every day with parts, employees, and scheduling, but one thing I never worry about is vehicles. Jody's has special fleet pricing, special in and out service, or free shuttle and pickup and delivery service. And they do everything: service, repair, and maintenance. That makes my life much easier. All my vehicles go to Jody's.
Latest technology and highly trained technicians means we could do it all. From the most highly technical repairs to everyday oil change specials, tires, everything, even diesels. Jody'sAuto.com. Schedule free shuttle service or pickup and delivery. Get a tire quote, get financing. Jody's Auto Service Centers, voted best of the best by our customers year after year. We're your neighbors since 1984 with 3 full-service locations in Fort Smith and Van Buren. See for yourself at JODYSauto.com.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, sunny and quite warm. Our high temperatures this afternoon will be right around the middle 80s. Gusty winds 20 to 30 miles per hour across the north. Partly cloudy sky tonight. An overnight low will drop down low to mid 60s. And then tomorrow, sunshine, highs low to mid 80s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Shamrock Liquor Warehouse, 5609 Midland Boulevard, your leader in fine wines, beers, and spirits. You're listening to The Morning Rush on ESPN 95.3, KERX Paris, Fort Smith.
I'm hairy everywhere else except my face.
Coming to you live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that doesn't respect you. Don't ask me if I'm all right. What kids they dominate, and we not doing it.
We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Matt Jones, man, take it to the house.
Both said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. What's my hot dog? Let's go, man.
I have zero respect for saying no moss at halftime.
Even one Razorback is vintage Matt Jones. 1, 2, 3. Turn it.
Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
Good morning. It's halftime on a lovely Monday to be talking sports across our listening audience on ESPN Arkansas, hitthatline.com, and the Hit That Line Now app. Phil Elson here, my partner Matt Jones, Kristen Johnston, and Colton Little producing today. A very simple Monday as we will react to Arkansas's dominant win over Mississippi State. Get you set for the second M of the season. You get two of them back-to-back with Ole Miss on Saturday. Big Monday in sports with the World Series resuming, Monday Night Football as well. And we very well may have seen the NFL Play of the Year yesterday in Washington, D.C. Good morning, Matt Jones. It was a great weekend for Arkansas athletics overall. Exhibition basketball, that game looked, the team looked really, really good. Very exciting Friday night. Saturday went, I guess, pretty close to about as well as you could hope. And now, hey, we made it through October. They won 2 out of 3 games, and hopefully there's a November to remember coming up.
Wide world of sports is right, man. What a weekend for sports. I don't know where you start. You could start Friday night with that guy with the really bad mustache for the Yankees, point shaving, throwing an inside heater to Freddie Freeman. It's like, what? Even I know not to throw that pitch. The next game was awesome, and then, man, it's fun to win. It's Arkansas best game of the year by far, and I know it's against Mississippi State, but man, it was fun to see him go out there and have fun and dominate. Start to finish, defense gets a turnover, within the first 3 or 4 plays. Short field, I know, Phil, that's something you've been bringing up, and they executed, got 7 points off the bat. What a win.
Yeah, it was great to see them score on, I think they scored on all but 3 possessions in the game. Just one punt, the one turnover, and just kind of an efficient game offensively, and I guess efficiency was one of the things that's been missing. So you're not a big fan of the Nestor Cortez mustache, huh? I brought him up on Friday. Remember, he's the guy who hadn't pitched in 5 weeks, who had the flexor strain.
That was the worst thing I'd seen at all World Series. Man, how do you make that pitch right there?
And he kind of made pretty close to the same pitch against Ohtani, the at-bat before. Cortez throws 2 pitches, his only 2 pitches of a 5-week period. Keep in mind, this is a starting pitcher that was making his first relief appearance of the entire season in Game 1 of the World Series with the winning runs on base. That was something else. But, yeah, it looked like he made the same pitch to Ohtani when he popped that one up. And, I mean, really, you could even say potentially outside of the grand slam by Freeman, the catch by Oswaldo Cabrera, when he goes over the railing. You go over the railing, the runners get extra bases. That's why you had men at second and third. They intentionally walk Betts and bring up Freeman for a moment that will live as long as they play baseball. That moment's going to live. And then yesterday with, or I guess that was on Saturday, these days kind of run together, Yankees have the chance to, take the lead in the ninth. The base is loaded, couldn't get it done. And everybody's worried about Ohtani and that shoulder, which they said it's a subluxation of the left shoulder. That's his power shoulder. I'm anticipating, from what it sounds like, he'll be in the lineup today, but I can't imagine he'll be the same kind of hitter. Just, he's known for all that power. This is his power arm. So I think it'll change who he is, and it'll change that Dodger lineup a little bit, but up 2-0, you got to feel pretty good about it. I will say this. I saw the last 2 times that the Dodgers and Yankees played in the World Series, Matt, would have been 1978 and 81. The losing team in both of those series had a 2-0 advantage, and then the winning team won the next 4. So watch out for the Yankees later today.
Oh, the Yankees going back home. Yeah, I mean, it's a must-win. I know you were saying Game 1 was a must-win for the Dodgers if they wanted a chance. I would think Game 3, maybe even Game 3 and 4, Yankees need to tie it back up 2-2 because then it'll be a long year ahead.
Absolutely. Well, speaking of must-win, they had to beat Mississippi State, right? I mean, you really kind of had to win that ball game, and they did. And I thought it was outstanding to see, 2 plays into the game, Landon Jackson gets around the left tackle, swipes at the right arm of Michael Van Buren, knocks it out, recovers it, and then 3 plays later, Taylon Green scampers into the end zone. And well, I was going to say the blowout was on, but Mississippi State scored on the next drive on that long, catch and run out of the backfield for Booth, their running back. From that point on, it was all Arkansas. I guess maybe he felt a little bit nervous after State scored a couple of touchdowns within about 2 minutes of themselves in the third quarter. But from that point on, Arkansas scores the final 18 points. And, man, it was nice to see in this game, Matt, how the yards equaled the points. That's what it felt like. 673 yards, I like to see you put up 52 or 58. It's the most points they'd scored in a game since 2016 in Starkville with also 58. And it was great to see them establish the run the way they did.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot of negative to take away, but there's teaching moments and teaching points in the game. One of them is what you're talking about. It was just a bad pursuit angle. You go inside out like a banana. This is what Bobby Allen teaches them, and I'm sure it hasn't changed much since now. But the way you go to the ball carrier when you're coming downhill like that, the sideline's your friend. And then they have athletes too. And then there was a time, I think late in the game, where we started being a fugazi, where we started kicking back and trying to get a personal foul. Like, kind of hold your composure. I like the defense to be aggressive and nasty and all the things you like, but it has to be inside the whistles. Once the whistles blow, man, don't go hurting your team. Don't go getting a personal foul because you get 2 of those, you get kicked out of the game, can't play next week, all sorts of things. So. But that was about it. There's about 2 or 3 teaching points, and other than that, man, a lot of pluses on the grading sheet this week.
Yeah, and I know some will point to Mississippi State putting up about 470 yards of offense. They scored 25 points against them. I mean, they keep in mind. I mean, I think Arkansas kept them under the point total they had scored in Athens against Georgia. In their previous game, and to me. I mean, you look at the yards and all of that, but I love the idea that you had 5 freaking turnovers, man. I mean, in wins this year, they've created 10 turnovers. I know that it's happened in 2 games for a team that has 5 victories, but hey, if you're able to, I'd be surprised if you're able to do this again because those 10 turnovers are coming against 2 of the worst teams in the league. But an opportunistic defense, man. I mean, and that's all to me. That's been the biggest difference in the season, Matt. In wins. They're opportunistic. They take it away from the opponent. They turn it into points. And in losses, it's the other way around.
Yeah, you can't get Mississippi State and Auburn on the schedule each week, but what it did is it showed that we had more class. It showed that we have the better coaching staff. We have more stability right now. The death of Mike Leach a couple years ago, and then with the 2 new coaches back, Mississippi State's kind of trying to figure out who they are and trying just to go forward. But it's for whatever reason, Mississippi State is not a very good football team right now, and I thought Arkansas handled it well. I mean, A+, but really going around. Russell, he shines, and DeBinion, I was happy for him to bounce back. I'd have liked to seen him get one more carry and get to 100 yards. I don't know when the last time Arkansas had 2 running backs both rush for over 100 yards in an SEC game, but that was that was fun to watch.
Yeah, unfortunately for DeBinion, he had 6 yards of lost yardage on runs, so he gained 104, but he gets credit for 98. You're right. That would have been really cool. Taylon Green, man, I mean, he was the best player on the field at Davis Wade Stadium.
Number 10. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. Well, it's just you're watching him grow as a quarterback. I think he's at like 72% completion in the last 3 games. And part of it is giving him some time, but I also think he's really spreading it out now. It's not just about Andrew Armstrong. Got the tight ends involved, Tesla involved. Broden with a couple of catches, and just I'm excited to see what Taylon can do this last month, albeit against better defenses, but I really think Taylon Green's turned into a much better quarterback than we even saw to start the season.
There was a play in the 3rd quarter, and I wrote number 10, best player on the field, both sides of the ball. Sorey was the best player, I thought, on defense, and Taylon Green was the best player on offense, so I'm right there with you, Phil. But there was a play, he hit Tesla on a 7 route, and Tesla was the 3rd read. He started on the left. You see him move his hips, move his feet, move his and throw. I mean, it was a 35-yard strike, level 2 type pass. It was one of the best passes he threw all game, but he was confident. Man, it was fun to watch. But I think number 10 on defense, that was his best game, and he's had a lot of good games too. But we definitely had the best 2 number 10s out there.
The 2 of them together are just a lot of fun to watch. You get one number 10 offensively that is just zigging every single direction possible, zagging the other directions, and just making so many different people miss. And how many ankles did he break on Saturday? And then there's Sorey, who just is about as aggressive and fat. I mean, the aggressiveness is one thing, but the speed to go along with it, man, he's like shot out of a cannon on every single play. That was fun to watch, both of them, and now it's so. I mean, you got this great performance against Mississippi State. You realize you're facing This was potentially the worst defense in the SEC, and now you're about to face potentially the best defense in the Southeastern Conference. You know, the one with the front seven that is stopping almost everybody. They have the lowest scoring defense in the nation. It's tough to run against them. They get to the quarterback. So it's like one of these weeks, Matt. It's like, all right, so they just had this outstanding game against Mississippi State. I'm just not sure, outside of their own confidence to get into the end zone, just based on the way they played last game, I'm not sure what it means for this Saturday against the Rebels.
Yeah, if Ole Miss's front seven, if they're motivated and they feel like playing, then yeah, they're up there, top 3 front seven in the SEC. That's the real deal. And you talk about Taylon Green breaking ankles. We all know Brad Pitt invented the Euro step in the movie Troy. Then Manu Ginobili perfected the Euro step, and then now Taylon Green's taking it to the football field because that was just a deke, whatever you want to call it, man. That was he had that guy spinning backwards.
I'm now in my mind like going through that scene from Troy when Achilles just attacks, the first attack that I never realized. Now that I think of it, Matt, you are absolutely right. That is a classic Euro step move that Achilles used.
Mm-hmm.
Way to leave it to the athlete to be able to watch an actor athlete's footwork in a thing that I was focused on the top half of his body. You saw the footwork,
and then Manu Ginobili perfected it, and then Taylon Green said it's my move now. That was it was fun, man. There's nothing. It's always fun to win, and that was the next team on the schedule. It proves us to 5-3, gives us a chance, and it's one of those things where it's 24-hour rule. And you got to forget about Mississippi State because Ole Miss, 10 times better of a team. It's going to be a dogfight against the Rebels.
Here's what's halftime for a Monday morning into your early afternoon. There'll be a couple of guests. We'll be talking with Mike Irwin at 1:15 after the Sam Pittman press conference. About an hour from now, it's 3 Up, 3 Down with Dr. Charlie Leggett. And lots of time for your calls and texts, which also includes in the upcoming segment if you want to get on. 877-377-6963. It's halftime. It's a beautiful Monday, and we are right back after this.
They were so convincing in their argument, they swung me.
This is halftime. Don't miss out on Hog Reaction after every Razorback football game. Brought to you by Bud Light. Also presented by Black Hills Energy.
That's one of the reasons I love Travis Williams. I think he's able to take away what is something this team does well. Well, you know what? Travis Williams is usually, most of the time, he's able to take that away. Then teams got to go to their B plan, their C plan, and then you really see the depth. You see if they're talented enough because everybody can have a plan A.
Only on ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com.
Hey, folks, we're back here at Road Chevrolet with Grant Neal. Let's talk new vehicles. What a selection.
I'm really happy that Chevrolet's starting to send more inventory because we're starting to get the vehicles that people want and need, especially moving into the fourth quarter. This is when the savings start to come and people are looking at shopping for the end of the year for their business or for the holidays. So, Tahoes, heavy-duty trucks, the new light-duty trucks, the all-new Chevrolet Traverse, the most popular models, we've got them. And great deals, too, up to 90-day payment deferral, so 3 months with no payment, and 0% for 36 months for well-qualified buyers on select vehicles.
You've even got a Silverado EV.
Yeah, is that thing not unbelievable? It's unbelievable, and, it's a unique vehicle for a unique person, but I'm just telling you, you got to come out here and drive this thing and let our team show you all the great features. It's a truly marvelous piece of engineering.
It's Arkansas's favorite car dealer, Road Chevrolet, 2800 Alma Highway in Van Buren.
The best things in life never change. They just get better, like Hardee's Original Bag, just $6.99. Loaded with fries, a drink, and 2 full-size favorites. A juicy charbroiled double cheeseburger, melty hot ham and cheese sandwich, or crispy hand-breaded chicken tender wrap. Choose any 2 plus fries and a drink, all only $6.99. Hardee's Original Bag, loaded with handcrafted goodness. It's the greatest meal deal for your buck. Available for a limited time at participating restaurants.
It's sad that we live in an unsafe world, but we do. Would you be able to show the police who was at your home if something was taken? Guardtronic installs alarm systems as well as camera systems. Here at ESPN Arkansas, we rely on Guardtronic installed cameras to keep an eye on the radio station when we're not here. Guardtronic has been serving the River Valley for over 60 years. Call Guardtronic for a free estimate so you'll be able to show the police who the bad boys are that took your stuff. Guardtronic, license E50.
When you need tough and paint just isn't enough, check out River City Coatings in Van Buren. When it comes to your metals, paint can peel and crack over time. Whether it's your patio furniture, rims or trims on your automobile, or heavy equipment, no one has time for a redo. Powder coating provides the toughness you need. Preserve your investment with powder coating from River City Coatings. River City Coatings, certified John Deere, Caterpillar, ISO 9001, Packer, and UL provider of tough. River City Coatings, 471-7675 or online at rivercitycoatings.com.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Why do people love Shamrock Liquor Warehouse? Simple. They've got it all. 70 years in business, 15,000 square feet of choices. They buy in volume so you can save. What else? How about the largest selection of everything? Shamrock's got it. Special orders? Shamrock's got it. Convenient drive-through, open 6 days a week? Shamrock's got it. Need a keg for your party? Shamrock's got it. Load up at Shamrock Liquor Warehouse at the corner of Midland and Riverfront Drive in Fort Smith.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Kiss all your fingers. What's that for? You'll never get to heaven if you should have torn. Cut through your finger. Cut you loose, lost the letter, lost the letter, cool. Now it ain't such a thrill. It ain't such a thrill. Now it ain't such a thrill. It gets a little too late. It gets to the back, and you'll never get it back. You'll never get the damn thing back.
Find halftime on 99.5 in Northwest Arkansas, 95.3 in Fort Smith and the River Valley, 96.3 in Hot Springs and Central Arkansas, 104.3 in Harrison and Mountain Home, and everywhere on hitthatline.com. Join the conversation. Call or text 877-377-6963. Now back to the hosts. Here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Do you hear that sound of cha-ching all across the state? Well, I guess it's not all across the state. It would be whomever took the over on the amount of wins for Arkansas this year, and where pretty much wherever you choose to put your money down. 4.5 was the over-under. They're at 5 now. I think Brian from Ozark told us he had bet them on the under, so he lost a little bit of money on that. Now, I guess in those people's eyes, you're playing with house money, but there's no way that the team can view it that way. Sam Pittman here talking on Taylon Green and the team's confidence in him.
I said I wouldn't trade our quarterback for nobody's, and I said that when things weren't going as good either. But you give him time. That throw he made to Jordan Anthony was unbelievable. Of course, Jordan's fast and got behind him, but that throw he made there was really unbelievable and should build a lot of confidence going into, what obviously is next 4 we have are obviously tough and should build some confidence in our football team.
Unfortunately, I don't have the soundbite of the touchdown to Anthony, which was the only pass that came his way. But man, what a throw that was! And I heard Chuck and Quinn were talking off the air on Saturday, Matt, about Green threw it to a spot. Anthony ran to the spot. Both arrived at the same time. It was picture perfect, and one of 23 completions on 29 attempts for Taylon Green.
Man, Taylor was fun to watch. You see him getting more comfortable in a Bobby Petrino offense, knowing where people are supposed to be, knowing what the quarterback coach wants, knowing what your players can do. They seem to be figuring each other out, and we were the better team in all aspects. I do this a lot in basketball, but you're looking at the football team for Mississippi State, and you're like, how many guys could actually start, for this Arkansas team? Not a lot of guys. I was proud of number 5, Tyrone Broden, man, caught the ball, and he had one of the best plays of the game, but he didn't get up on the line of scrimmage, so he got it called back. But he might be our most violent runner, our best run after the catch guy. So now you see why he's still out there, and hopefully he's got a little confidence, because I think he caught everything that came his way. Gonna need him going forward if you want to beat the big boys. If you want to have a chance to beat Ole Miss, you're going to have to bring everybody's best.
Yeah, that was the thing I was thinking about. I know it's two SEC teams that are within the same state, Matt. It's about a 2.5 hour drive from Starkville to Oxford. I don't know if there's anybody, at least defensively, for State that could start for Ole Miss. Maybe on both sides of the ball too. I mean, I thought State was improving a little bit, but then again they were down 4 starting defensive linemen. Already we're struggling defensively. So, and I'm not saying any of that to throw off the offensive performance.
No, it's still a road SEC victory.
Absolutely. And here's the thing. You can play who's in front of you, and then you base it off of, well, what should we have done against this team? I don't know if I would have thought they'd have averaged nearly 10 yards per carry. I don't know if I thought they would have run for 359 yards. I don't know, Matt, if I thought that nearly half of the plays that they made from scrimmage would have gone for a first down. 66 plays from scrimmage, 30 of them went for a first down. So, yeah, maybe not the most talented team there, but I feel like 673 yards, I think they did what they should have done.
Man, we executed, and you see how fun Braylon Russell is. You wonder about his hammy. Those things are so tricky. He is a youngster, but you don't know if he'll be ready for Ole Miss or not. And then you get a bye week. Then hopefully he's back for Texas. So that would be enough time, you would think, to get it back going. But yeah, the running backs look good. It was a joy to see Haas kind of do his thing. I know we had been talking about where are the tight end games. You're going to need the tight ends going forward, especially in the red zone. They're great for third down. They're great for mismatches. And I'd heard this stat today. I don't know if it's true or not, but maybe we'll have to check it out, that Ole Miss doesn't do a great job of guarding the tight end. If there was a weakness that Ole Miss had in that front 7 spot, is that the tight ends are able to get off on them.
Well, you didn't have 4 touchdowns to your tight ends, including Pashka, who had been out for a couple of games because of the concussion, hadn't caught a pass all year. I think it was Ty Washington that was out, and Pashka shows that he can get open and get into the end zone. And that was, like, the tight ends came up really big on the play action passes, Matt, that 4th and 1, a couple of touchdowns where you saw in the play action. And, man, if you're expecting a run and they're going to sell out, I thought Green just looked really comfortable on play fakes, which isn't the easiest thing to do. But he put the ball off his right hip and hit it really well, and it has just breaking right through, wide open. And I've kind of expected maybe a little bit more play action than we've seen of now, but they look comfortable doing it. And I think in this last month of the season, that should be a major part of this offense.
What a great call. Everything was clicking. Bobby Petrino was pressing all the right buttons. Even the running back sold that. The running back does a 360 after he fakes the handoff like he's looking for the ball. Everybody was selling the fake, and then it was a wide open play. You probably get I remember getting 1 or 2 of those a year just throughout the season. You'll get something where you play action, they sell, and it's just kind of a walk-in and an easy call. So great call. You knew they were going to be selling out to try to stop the run because they can't stop the run, and then somebody misses an assignment, and it's a walk-in touchdown. He won't get an easier touchdown than that all year.
Yeah, probably not. I don't think there was anybody within 18 yards of him. I mean, basically from where the line of scrimmage was. There wasn't anybody anywhere near Luke.
Unless you're the Washington Redskins receiver. That's about as easy as a Hail Mary catch you'll ever get right there.
It was tipped right to him.
You know the first rule in like 8th grade they teach you, Phil, when it's a Hail Mary, because you have to do those happen in 7th, 8th. You bat the ball down. You never bat the ball up. That's a football 101. How to well, and also they don't teach you to start looking at the fans while there's.
Well, that was the thing I was going. But what about this Tyreek Stevenson who was smack talking fans over by, and it wasn't by the sideline. I mean, it was right there by the goal line, about 15 yards inside the boundary, where it's like the ball is snapped. You see the Commanders receivers running down the field, and Stevenson's got his back to him. And he was like, oh my gosh, hold on, I guess I got to go and get involved in this play. And it looked to me, Matt, like he was the guy who tipped the ball up in the air. He went for it, one-handed, right-hand tip, right up in the air, and then right into the hands of Noah Brown. Best play of the season in the NFL, huh?
That was pretty lucky. I watched most of that game. I watched a little bit of the Ravens-Browns game. I've watched more NFL football this week than I have in a while. The Browns, the same thing. The Ravens have an all-pro safety. Jameis sails a little crosser route, and it's right in his breadbasket. Almost takes a step or two. Very next play they score. So yeah, you got to take advantage of. You can't give guys second chances in that league because they'll make you pay.
The look on was it Kyle Hamilton was his name?
Yeah,
the Ravens safety.
He's the all-pro. He's an absolute beast. So it's not like it's his fault, but yeah, you would expect him to make that play.
You know how you described the we were talking about Dubinion's fumble last week against LSU and what that feels like. I saw the look on Hamilton's face, and it was like it was no guarantee that the next play was going to lead to a touchdown. But when it happened, and it was basically game, set, match, that looks like that's going to take quite a bit of time to get over. That's the thing where I would hope it's like a relief pitcher that gives up a game-winning home run in the 9th inning. Usually the next day you got another game and maybe you'll get another chance. This is one of those things where it's like football. That literally is a game-losing play. And I think he would have liked to get on the field the very next day. Maybe not even wearing pads.
Well, you see it at Arkansas. I think this Ole Miss game is going to come down to 4 or 5 plays. That didn't happen against Mississippi State. But in the NFL, 95% of those games, they're 1 or 2 score games. It comes down to 4 or 5 plays that if you can make and you have the opportunity to make, you got to make them to give that's what the good teams do. I think that'll be this week when Arkansas plays Ole Miss. You're going to have to take advantage of your opportunities and can't leave things out there because they're so good. Mississippi State, you could. We didn't, but you could and got away with it. Against Ole Miss, you can't leave anything out there because they're too talented.
Yeah, it feels to me like you're back to the tight ball games that you were playing for like the first 5 weeks against FBS teams until losing by 24 against LSU and then a 33-point win against Mississippi State. Those last 2 games feel more like the anomaly than the norm. But you are facing, like, this ought to be a really, I hope, a fun month. The thing is, too, it's like Arkansas, they're not going to be a playoff team, but they can certainly spoil things for other teams. You've got 3 programs, though I don't really count Mizzou right now as a playoff contender. So let's just say you get your next 2 games at home, you get a chance to really play spoiler. Because Ole Miss is not going to the playoff if they lose their 3rd game. Texas with a 2nd loss very well could, but that would mean they're going to have to win some sort of a tiebreaker to get into the SEC championship game. Like these next 2 weeks, or I know there's a bye week in there. This is a chance for even a win that's more legendary than the Tennessee game, I think.
I think you're going to get Ole Miss's absolute best. I know they play Georgia next, but I do not think they're going to be looking ahead of Arkansas. The fact that how we play against Ole Miss and how tough and Ole Miss, they know, like you said, they know if they lose one more game, they're 100% out. But if Ole Miss wins out, they beat Arkansas, they beat Georgia, and then they got bye week Florida, Mississippi State. So you have to think they feel confident about those. They could be into the playoff 12 because that would give Georgia a 2nd loss. And they would hold the tiebreaker, I believe, if that's how the tiebreakers are, if you both have 2 losses.
If you're craving anything sweet and delicious, you can get over to Andy's Frozen Custard on Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith, plus other locations in Conway on East Oak Street and Dave Ward Drive. They're also in North Little Rock on JFK Boulevard, perfect for game day Saturdays. Take home a pick six and mix and match 6 of your favorite flavors for the perfect game time treat at Andy's Frozen Custard. Walk up or drive through, always ready to serve you. You can get with us on halftime. Our hotline's open, calls or texts, 877-377-6963. And we are right back after this.
Looks like I picked the wrong week to quit smoking.
This is Halftime. You can now download our new app in the iTunes or Google Play Store. Listen anytime and anywhere on your favorite mobile device. Just search Hit That Line Now.
Warning, the following ZipRecruiter radio spot you are about to hear is going to be filled with F-words.
When you're hiring, we at ZipRecruiter know you can feel frustrated, forlorn even, like your efforts are futile, and you can spend a fortune trying to find fabulous people, only to get flooded with candidates who are just fine. Fortunately, ZipRecruiter figured out how to fix all of that. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. With ZipRecruiter, you can forget your frustrations because we find the right people for your roles fast, which is our absolute favorite F word. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day.
Fantastic.
So, whether you need to hire 4, 40, or 400 people, get ready to meet first-rate talent. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. Don't forget, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free. Finally, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
You're listening to Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
Ready to explore beyond the beaten path? Discover the Range Rover lineup at Land Rover of Little Rock. Experience handcrafted luxury with the capability to take on any adventure. The elegant Range Rover offers unmatched performance and first-class luxury. The Range Rover is built for every journey. Visit Land Rover of Little Rock today and explore our incredible Range Rover selection. Plus, take advantage of our promotions and recently revamped service department. Visit us at 25 Colonel Glenn Plaza Drive or log on at LandRoverLittleRock.com.
Hey, it's Ty Richardson, and we are live at Lily's Sandwich Shop in the Bakery District. Jose, but what we got whipping up today, man?
Man, today's special, we have the French Toast Turkey Melt, kind of a special sandwich. It really didn't put us on the map, but it did put a star by our name.
Daily specials every day at the award-winning Lily's Sandwich Shop. If you don't believe me, ask Lily.
My name is Lily. My papa makes the best sandwiches at Lily's Sandwich Shop. I'm buying them at the Bakery District today.
This year, we considered hiring an ad agency to help with our marketing.
They pitched impressive visuals and a script that was inspiring.
And exotic animal mascots to help grab your attention.
In the end, we just decided to tell it to you straight. Shelter Insurance has award-winning customer service at affordable rates.
Plus, our local agents are there to help you understand what coverage you need.
Call Randy Milam in Alma or Brandon Zimmerman in Bartley. COP CDL Academy is a licensed Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration that provides the federal required training to obtain both Class A and Class B CDL licenses. Our program provides assistance with employment after graduation. We have finance and grant options available. Students straight out of class have started new careers earning $70,000 to $140,000 per year, and training is provided for all 50 states. Call today, 479-632-1050. COP CDL Academy.
World-class trout fishing is the star of the show at Gaston's White River Resort, where a few days away from all the worries and stress will make all right in your world. Gaston's has friendly, experienced guides to help you land your limit. Enjoy your stay at Gaston's in one of their private cottages, or reserve a lodge for up to 20 people. Call now and let Gaston's help you plan your next getaway on the White River. 870-431-5202. That's 870-431-5202. Or learn more at Gastons.com. Gaston's, a first-class time, every time.
The Newmeyer family is a mainstay in Fort Smith, and their newest restaurant, the Whippoorwill, has so much to offer. Friday night catfish, good. Tuesday nights, kids 10 and under eat free with an adult meal purchase. Don't forget about Whippoorwill for every Hogs game with their massive projection screen. For catering options, call 479-769-2095. Newmeyer's Whippoorwill Restaurant, now a part of the Newmeyer family.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Hey, Jay, you give a ball. I didn't something that can only change the weather. But a California call tonight, so stick around. You're gonna hear a next you solid ball sound.
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Want to jump in the conversation? Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
This week is cocktail party week. Kentucky, Tennessee, A&M, Carolina, Vandy and Auburn. It looks like Arkansas, Ole Miss very well could be maybe the best game in the league this week. Two biggest games in college football this week are going to be Penn State and Ohio State, and Pitt and SMU in the ACC. And this is the last weekend before we finally get to see a college football poll that matters. Matt, it'll come out on Tuesday, and that's the one I'll be going by for the rest of the season. Not this AP poll, not the coaches poll. So finally get to see what the playoff will actually look like, potentially look like on Tuesday.
Oh, absolutely. Can't wait for that. That'd be interesting to see if Oregon's number one. I'm a little I don't know about you, but this Arkansas team better come ready to play, because if we don't show up, Ole Miss to do what LSU did, and they'll beat us by 3 touchdowns. So this is a totally different game. This is more like an A&M game, a Tennessee game, LSU game. This is against a real big boy, a real team that can make a playoff 12. This isn't against Mississippi State or one of those other. This isn't even against Oklahoma State. This
not against Auburn. Yeah, you're right.
This is a real game with a real quarterback, real coach. I mean, everything you look at this Ole Miss team, man, they got a lot of talent on that team.
And Ole Miss, I mean, OU hung around for a while. In fact, they had the Sooners had a 14-10 lead at halftime, and then Mississippi shuts them out in the second half, wins 26-14. It's just a little odd to see them winning games with defense, with how bad their defense was a couple of years ago. And I mean, they made an improvement last year, but gosh, the portal additions this season for Ole Miss, and the 3 that come to mind for me are Pooh Paul, Princely Umanyamelan, who came from Florida, defensive end, and Walter Nolan from A&M. I mean, they really built up that line of scrimmage defensively through the portal. And you're right. I mean, it won't even feel like it's the same league, I think, on Saturday.
I do like the name of their backup running back, though. I think Ole Miss misses. Junkins. I really do. I thought that was a bad loss for him. I like Parrish. Parrish is okay, but he's not. I don't think he's as good as Junkins. And that is one of the things is Ole Miss is soft on offense. They're a little soft. So if you can get to him, we can be physical on defense. I think it's gonna be that type of battle. Which one of these offenses can establish anything and get some type of rhythm, some type of momentum going? Because both these defenses are carrying both these teams.
Oh, look, their second string running back is named Matt Jones. How about that? So we need Matt Jones to cover the game. We need Matt Jones on the radio, Matt Jones on the field, and then somehow find a way to get the Kentucky Matt Jones over here too, so we could have 4 of them. But we've got the best one. We've also got Eduardo the Sherpa, who's giving us a call here on halftime. You can do the same at 877-377-6963. Eduardo, good morning. The recipe was loud and clear. It smelled great on Saturday. Kind of smelled a little bit like fried chicken, Eduardo. How are you?
I'm doing great. Why wouldn't I be great after that performance? Woo! In Starkville, Mississippi. I tell you what, my tank's full of gas. Why wouldn't it be? I had to go to, as I shared with you, I had to go to Walmart and get some vino, baby. Why wouldn't I? I'm telling you, after that, listen to these stats. I said we got to get back to the run. We established the run at Starkville, Mississippi, baby. How about the young freshman? 16 carries for almost 200 yards. We rushed for nearly 400 yards. That's the recipe, baby, and that's how we're going to beat the Rebels come Saturday in the Hawk Pound. I love it, brother. Listen to these stats. Taylor Green, 5 TD passes, I tell you what, it all starts with the run. And when you can run the football, baby, you can beat anybody in the country. And come Saturday in the home pound, woo! The recipe is going to be cooking, baby. What do you think about that, Phil and Matt?
Eduardo, I think the recipe tasted delicious this last Saturday. I think it's a different recipe. Like week by week, it's a different thing depending on the opponent that you're facing. I'm a little worried about your digestive tract these days if you're going to Walmart and getting yourself some Beano. Is everything all right?
Well, I felt like, you ever go to a backyard barbecue and you eat a big bowl of barbecue beans?
It's
Well,
happened a
baby,
few
you started
times.
hitting me. But listen to those stats, baby. And if I don't get your gas and your tank full of gas on go, I don't know why it will. Look what our basketball team did Friday night. I think we just, made a statement, baby. Let me say this. I think it's looking pretty good in Hogland. Let me go one step further. I think we got a legitimate shot, starting with Ole Miss, to run the tables, baby. And that's exactly what we're going to do. Let me say this. When you can run the football, that's a recipe. And I mean, we didn't have the Queen Duck. And when you know what I'm judging off of course, every dang Skifford. Georgia only won by 10 against the Bulldogs. A&M, as good as they are, only won by 10. And look at that Texas Longhorns. They only won by 12 against the Bulldogs. We beat them by over 30 points. And I'm telling you this, fan base jump aboard. We don't need no fire brigade, baby, because we're coming Saturday. Woo! We're cooking up hell's bells. The rolling thunder and the pouring rain, baby.
That sounds good, man. I mean, I hope you're feeling better. I was gonna say, it's like you don't feel well because you need Beano. You sound like you feel great. Eduardo sounds like he feels outstanding. I just hope he can keep that energy up until Saturday. Eduardo, as always, thank you for listening to our show. 877-377-6963 to get with us here. So the recipe, according to Eddie, Matt, is to run the football. Ole Miss, stingiest team in the nation at running the football. Although, I mean, SEC teams have had considerably more success running against them than the non-conference teams that they faced, which is at least worth throwing in there. So they have the number one rushing defense in the nation, 76.5 yards per game allowed. SEC teams are running for 119 against them, which basically is a push because they rush for about the same amount. You have to be able to run it. I mean, it's just like success against Mississippi State running the football feels like it'd be different than success running the ball against Ole Miss.
When do we find out about our running backs? That would be, I know Mike Irwin usually is he's up to date on all that stuff because Coach Pittman speaks today. But that would be kind of, I guess, the question is, is Kuda still going to redshirt? And then our running back game, how healthy are we in the backfield? I mean, I think that would be key going into this next game.
I saw Russell after it looked like he'd blown his hamstring out. He was over on the sideline jogging back and forth and didn't look like there was anything.
It could have been a
wrong.
cramp. It could have been a nod of a cramp. And
it was scary at first the way that he grabbed it, but he said he's okay. So I guess we'll hear from Sam Pittman later today. In fact, about 16 minutes he's got his presser. And then the other aspect is like how healthy is Jaquindon Jackson? Can he get back out there? Because going with two running backs for the full game against Mississippi State is one thing. I feel like you probably need more than just two against Ole Miss. PA in Texarkana has given us a call too. PA, thanks for calling halftime. How are you?
I'm all right after Friday's by prediction of 41-10 that was poo-pooed by you two guys. I told you to take baby's new shoes and mortgage of the house and bet it all on the Hogs.
Remember that.
They were going to blow them out.
Funny how you remember it incorrectly.
41-10 is not exactly right, but it's pretty close to 58-25 in point differential. So I'll just have to take my walk down the catwalk and say, hey, state of Arkansas, look at me. So.
Cool. Congratulations, PA. Appreciate that. Robert in Fort Smith is up next. Robert, how are you? And I'm not going to say congrats yet because it's just two wins.
Exactly, but I'm doing great. I don't even want to talk. We beat a team that won one game, so I don't even want to talk about football. Brady Freeman, Ben Scully couldn't even call that Friday night better than what that was. Still, I was just, I mean, him and Gibson, like they were talking about the Gibson. I was just like, oh my, it was just.
Robert, did I read that the time of day was exactly the same as Freeman's home run and Gibson's home run?
It was.
Temperature was off by 2 degrees. Yeah, the score was off by 1. It was so similar. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was just unreal. Now, I'll say Saturday, I have to give it to the ex-Cardinal, Edmund. He got that little hit right there. Then, we took care of business after, but we had to get him on base to get there first. So it was a good day. So we'll see what happens now. I think we could lose tonight, though, to be honest with you.
Maybe you do, but hey, Robert, here's the thing. Let me ask you, as a Dodgers fan that has been a fan of this franchise for a long, long time, they had no business beating the Athletics in '88. That home run by Gibson, like that was just such a deflating moment. The A's never recovered from that. Maybe the same thing happens here, but it feels like the same kind of magic, even though this Dodgers team, I think, is better than the '88 Dodgers.
Oh, yeah. Aaron Judge, dude. Don't kid yourself. Aaron Judge's going to come out of this. He's going to start firing it up. Just when's it going to be?
I don't know, man. He doesn't look right. He's missing on pitches that he crushes in the regular season. It's like maybe it's one swing to get him back, but he doesn't look right. The thing I'd be worried if I was you is Ohtani, because just like you can't have a hole in the lineup there, and I don't know if he'll be anything like the hitter that he usually is. Even if that shoulder doesn't need any surgery or would just need like a few days of rest, that's his power arm.
I know, and he's playing tonight, they said, but like you said, he's not going to play, or he's going to bat, but not at 100%. You really need that bat. Oh, and Friday night, too, the best interference that ever came. That helped us so much with that guy catching it out in center field.
Oh, yeah.
Stopped the home run ball. So
Jeffrey Meyer and everything. Looked like the ball would have been in play, though. I think it would have hit near the top of the fence.
Yeah. Well, have a good one, guys.
Thanks, Robert. Appreciate you. Yeah, Matt, you love theater when it comes to sports. That game Friday night, even just starting in the 9th inning, talk about theater. My gosh,
it was amazing. There was a couple of different times. He's right, the last caller. So you're at a home field advantage, and it made me think of the Cubs with Moises Alou, and your guys coming over there, and you stick your glove out, and it's like, whoa, man, don't you understand? Have some awareness. And you see the other fan look, they're like shocked, like, what are you doing?
Yeah, that's right. Well, it was close to a Jeffrey Meyer moment. The only thing is that that one helped the Yankees back in what was that, 96 against Baltimore in their home stadium. But it did have memories of that. Good stuff there, Robert. And again, I won't congratulate you because it's only 2 wins. You need 4. 877-377-6963 to get with us here on Halftime. Don't forget about the Bobby Garland Baby Shad made by the millions out of the 20 fishing brands at Pradco Fishing in Fort Smith. The number one that they make is the Bobby Garland Baby Shad. It's the number one soft plastic crappie lure in the United States. Fish it on the light jig head, underneath the float. You're going to find it's productive as live bait. The Bobby Garland Baby Shad, available at Learnet.com and tackle stores all over the place. Quick break. We'll wrap up our first hour of Halftime in a moment.
This is Halftime.
Summertime in Arkansas means pond and creek fishing, and nothing catches bass and bluegill in a pond like a Rebel Crickhopper. You can twitch it, pop it, walk it, and swim it. It's the ultralight fishing lure that looks and acts like a real grasshopper. The Crickhopper works great in tandem with light spinning rods and reels with 4 or 6 pound fishing line. Available at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle shops everywhere. The Rebel Crickhopper.
On ESPN Arkansas, download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
It's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, Sakale.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got coffee.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite, white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Basketball fans, it's that time of year again. The NBA is back. From opening tip-off to buzzer beaters, BetOnline has you covered with the best odds, biggest promotions, and live in-game betting on all of your favorite teams. This season, every game matters. BetOnline has every stat, matchup, breakdown, and live odds to bet on during the games. And it's not just the NBA. BetOnline has odds on everything from football, MLB playoffs, NHL, to even political props. Head to the website today to get in on the action with America's most trusted site for online wagering. BetOnline, the game starts here.
Hey, ESPN 96.3 and hitthatline.com. Have you been to Swark Liquor? Trey Gentry and his team have a phenomenal spot. It's the first liquor stop in Arkansas for our Dallas and Texas fans traveling up to the hill. So if you're heading to Fayetteville, the lake, a cabin weekend, hunting, fishing, or any other activity you need your favorite drink, stop by Swark Liquor. And check out their apparel too. You'll want to wear it. Swark Liquor, 864 East Colin Ray Drive in Queen, Arkansas. Swark Liquor, we promise to keep them cold for you.
Hey everybody, this is Tyson Fan. Dad, tell everyone about your job at Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash.
Power washing, son. I've been working in the business for over 15 years, all over the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas, residential or commercial. At Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash, our cleaning services include exterior home, fence, driveways, walkways, gutters, pool deck cleansing, and more.
Call my dad at 479-763-5561.
Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash.
One call, cleans it all.
Gas-powered pump or generator. Don't waste your time driving around. Stop by In Stock Parts, your industrial parts resource, or check them out online at InStockParts.com. In Stock Parts.
It's Ty Richardson with owner and operator Cecil Gardner with Jasco Graphics, 16 years in the industry. What all y'all service here at Jasco?
Logos, we do food trucks, cars, we do custom banners, signs for big and small businesses, stickers, you name it, we just about do it all right here at Jasco. Jasco Graphics Design, 2415 Midland. It's on the corner of Midland and Kelly. Jasco Graphics, the one-stop shop.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Walks further down the street, moving down low. No sound with the sound of speed. Machine guns ready to go. Are you ready? Hey, are you ready? Hey, are you hanging on the edge of your seat? Don't wait to pull it. Race. Gotta be, yeah. The one bites the dust.
Welcome back into Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Studios. Crabtree RV Center in Alma, where we make your dreams come true.
Oh, let's see some other games that stood out. How about Texas and Ohio State with surviving very close shaves? Ohio State against Nebraska had been blown out the week before by Indiana. Texas, by the skin of their teeth against Vanderbilt, who continues to show that they are not the Vanderbilt that we still think of as Vanderbilt. Still, maybe the best win of the week, Matt, at least in the SEC. A&M 38, LSU 23. Aggies at first place in the league.
Man, that's that Mike Elko defense. They got to the quarterback. They made him scramble a little bit, made him make mistakes. They made him look human. It was two talented teams, and like when we talked about that one, it's almost you take the home team in that if they were playing at LSU, maybe advantage LSU at night. But yeah, it's that's a tough physical. Really, I mean, A&M's just as physical as anybody. I think the best win, though, Phil, could also be your Pittsburgh Panthers staying undefeated and just not even really – I know it was Thursday night, so it's a few days ago, but never was in doubt with that one.
Undefeated and ranked 18th, which is about – and Army is undefeated and ranked 21st. This is about as low of rankings as I've seen for undefeated teams this late in the season.
Is Drew Aller, the Penn State quarterback, is he out for the year? Because I know that they had the backup come in 11 of 13, which is actually pretty good. But going forward, if he's out, that might be. I wonder when it gets to the playoff time too, Phil, because we've seen him do this. We saw him do it with Florida State last year.
Right.
And we've seen him do it with Ohio State, but they kept Ohio State in when they were down to their third-string quarterback. So that'd be interesting.
And won the championship on the third string.
It'd be interesting to watch to see that quarterback situation there in Penn State.
Let's see, an update on Aller from James Franklin at his presser today says the reality is we're going to have both quarterbacks ready. He's going to call it a game-time decision.
Game-time decision. Okay. All right.
For A&M, too, it's like I wonder about their quarterback situation because one of the reasons they won the game with such a dominant second half was they took Connor Wigman out and replaced him with Reed. Reed ran for 3 touchdowns and only threw 2 passes in that second half. And, hey, it seems that that's the kind of quarterback that as long as he doesn't throw a bunch of incompletions like Wigman has, A&M is the kind of team that can do a lot of damage on you on both sides of the ball. And you've got to watch out. And they're going to – I don't see them losing it. They're not going to lose another game until the Texas game, and very well could win that.
Reed reminds me of like an Antoine Randall, just an athletic quarterback. He's fun to watch.
Yeah, it is an interesting year of college football. Lots of fun, and we're into our second hour in just a moment.
Brothers Roofing and Restoration, a licensed and insured local roofing contractor in Arkansas. Since his playing days for the Hogs, Brother Alexander has been on rooftops, many years as an adjuster, and in the past decade as a roofing contractor. He knows how to help you through the insurance process while replacing your roof using only the industry's best materials. And being a lifelong Arkansan, he'll be here to stand behind his workmanship and warranty. Call 479-353-3877 to arrange a time for Brother and his team to inspect your roof.
Hey, this is Dr. Charlie Liggett at River Valley Smile Center. You may know me as your local dentist, but I'm a giant Hogs, Dolphins, and college baseball fan as well. Listen to me, Phil, and Matt talk about our 3 ups and downs for the weekend every Monday on halftime at 12:15. At River Valley Smile Center, we're a comprehensive dental facility that offers children's dentistry, dental implants, sedation, whitening, and much, much more. Dr. Cole Johnson, Dr. Hannah Cabe, and myself are located at 8309 Phoenix Avenue in Fort Smith. River Valley Smile Center. When you come here, you become family.
At AOG, our main goal is to deliver reliable energy to your home safely. And keeping our team members, customers, and community safe starts with awareness. Natural gas has a distinctive, strong odor, often compared to rotten eggs or sulfur. If you smell gas, leave your home immediately. Go to a safe location and call 911 in addition to AOG. Remember, if you smell gas, act fast and always call 811 before you dig. To learn more about natural gas safety, visit AOGC.com. AOG, energy for life.
The best things in life never change. They just get better, like Hardee's Original Bag, just $6.99. Loaded with fries, a drink, and 2 full-size favorites. A juicy charbroiled double cheeseburger, melty hot ham and cheese sandwich, or crispy hand-breaded chicken tender wrap. Choose any 2 plus fries and a drink, all only $6.99. Hardee's Original Bag, loaded with handcrafted goodness. It's the greatest meal deal for your buck. Available for a limited time at participating restaurants.
At Dobson Fiber, we're helping you build stronger connections by bringing the fastest internet network available to your business. Why fiber? Fiber internet provides reliable, symmetrical, blazing speeds. Without any interruptions or buffering, you can rely on Dobson for all your data needs. With Dobson Fiber as your premium internet provider, you can focus on the things that matter and the connections you build. To see if fiber is available to you, visit Dobson.net. Dobson Fiber, building stronger connections.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, sunny and quite warm. Our high temperatures this afternoon will be right around the middle 80s. Gusty winds 20 to 30 miles per hour across the north. Partly cloudy sky tonight. An overnight low will drop down low to mid 60s. And then tomorrow, sunshine, highs low to mid 80s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Shamrock Liquor Warehouse, 5609 Midland Boulevard, your leader in fine wines, beers, and spirits. KERX Paris Fort Smith. You're listening to ESPN 95.3.
Touchdown, Arkansas! How did he get that wide open?
Coming to you live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
You got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that doesn't respect you. Don't ask me if I'm all right. What can't they dominate? And we not doing it.
We're going to go get one
and celebrate on somebody else's field. People said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. What's my heart, dog? Let's go, man.
I have zero respect for saying no moss at halftime.
Even one Razorback. It's vintage Matt Jones.
Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
Hi and hello, and welcome back into halftime. It's ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com right after the 12 o'clock hour. What do you call 12 o'clock p.m. if 12 a.m. is the witching hour? What do we call 12 o'clock p.m.? Would that be the eating hour? I don't know. So you got to have names for both of these things, I would expect. I'm Phil Elson. Matt Jones, my partner, Kristen Johnston, is producing. And we'll be talking with Dr. Charlie Liggett from River Valley Smile Center in our next segment for 3 Up and 3 Down. And I think we're going to introduce a new segment tomorrow about Fugazi and see what things we think are fake out there. Steelers better win tonight against the Giants, right? Because this is not a team you can lose against and expect to really go very far. You never know in the NFL. I don't think Malik Neighbors is healthy though, so down another playmaker, and I wouldn't trust Daniel Jones against that defense either.
Yeah, I think the Steelers. I mean, it's you got to show up. There's still some talent over there, and the way Pittsburgh plays, sometimes they keep it close, sometimes they stall out a little bit on offense, but that defense is so solid. I don't think the Giants now, if they get a special teams touchdown, if they get a pick six. But if they don't do anything like that, I don't think that Giants offense can put up 21 points on Pittsburgh's defense.
Agreed, yeah. Pittsburgh 6-point favorite. Haven't lost a Monday night game in Pittsburgh since 1991 against the Giants. And I was at that game as a 14-year-old Steeler fan. Had 3 of my friends with us, sat on the upper deck at Three Rivers. I can't tell you any details about that game at all. I just remember sitting there, and I don't think Pittsburgh ever led. They went on to lose. Ray Handley was the head coach. That was the year after Belichick. Sorry, not Belichick. Parcells had, I guess that was his first retirement for health reasons that he never really disclosed. That was Chuck Knowles last year as the Steeler head coach. So they've gone almost. I mean, that's just a long time without losing a Monday night game at home for a franchise that plays a lot of Monday night games too. What do we have on the Cowboys against the Niners yesterday? 30-24, another loss, and it just seems to start spiraling a little bit here. Niners, 21 of their 30 points coming in the third quarter, and Dallas 3-4 and. Looking now that's sub 500, I think, for the first time this year. Not sure if you see them getting too much better, especially, that division, it looks right now, Matt, like the Eagles and Commanders are kind of separating themselves from everybody else.
It's not a good football team is what you're getting at. When I watch the Cowboys play, I do not see a good football. I mean, they're not very disciplined. They don't have a lot of talent outside of CeeDee Lamb on offense. I like their tight end. I like some of their pieces. I'm not saying that, but they're just really. I mean, they don't scare you. They're not very physical. They don't really stop the run. I mean, you start looking at them and you're like, yeah, that's not a playoff football team. And
they don't run it either. Like 74 yards a game, 3.4 yards per carry, and you're telling me that Derrick Henry wouldn't have fit on this team, really? Or these were words Jerry said last week, right? Today would be another appearance on their flagship station. So it's been 2 weeks in a row. Jerry said something that has made your head kind of bleed from all the scratching. I wonder what it is he says today.
Well, you had Hopkins go to the Chiefs. You had the Adams go to the Jets, and then the other guy go to the Buffalo Bills.
Cooper, Amari Cooper,
and so you start looking around. I think Cooper Kupp was on the block. There was pieces they could have went and got another receiver. That's what I keep thinking. They need somebody else to help with CeeDee Lamb, because you saw very first play of the game with the Chiefs. They put Hopkins in motion, throw him on a little corner route. He sits up, catches it with his hands. You're able to just start kind of building. Each week you'll build a little bit more with Hopkins. And you don't need Hopkins out there every play. You just need him to be out there and be comfortable and be healthy. Great pickup for the Chiefs if he's going to be able to stay healthy.
Let's talk with Charlie. He's given us a call, and you can do the same at 877-377-6963. Charlie, how are you today? What's up?
Well, the tuna is here. I will say they don't deserve to win because you just said it, Phil. You cannot be close to the bottom of the league in running the football, and then you cannot be close. You are basically last in run defense. I do not know how they're even 3-4, Phil. I really don't. Just because
win 8.
I mean, I don't even know. Because look, I don't care when you're asking. And listen, I know a lot of people are going after Dak, and that's fine. Go after him. But I'm sorry, you got to win. You can't be last at running the football. And then you can't be freaking last at stopping the run. You don't.
What do we need a hustle board for? We ain't hustled all year.
Bunch of lollygaggers.
I mean, what do they want Dak to do? Get in there and block, or go to linebacker and go I mean, what do they want him to do? And that's
Charlie,
where.
This is the most. This is the most, and I'm not a Dak hater. I just see what I see, and I say what I see. That's all there is to it. This is the most disinterested I've seen Dak Prescott look. When he's over there on the sidelines, he's thinking.
I agree with you.
He's thinking, what have I gotten myself into?
What have I re-signed myself into?
We're not a good team.
Mm-hmm. I agree with you. I actually agree with you, Matt. And I'll tell you something else. He's probably thinking in his head, what in the hell kind of play call was that? Because there's some of these plays that I watch, and I'm going, what? I could predict that's what they're going to do. They roll him to the left. Now, listen, he shouldn't have thrown this ball. There was 2 eligible receivers. They rolled him to the short side of the field, towards the boundary, and he just tried to throw a lollipop over there to CD. Now, the first interception, guess what? There were 3 people in his lap as he was throwing the football. Bosa, who you could not block all night, and you decided, we're just going to leave Terrence Steele over there one-on-one. He can block one of the best pass rushers on God's green earth by himself. No, he can't. So that's where I am done with Mike McCarthy because, listen, I get Jerry's the problem, but come on, man. They cannot block Joey Bosa one-on-one. No, not many people can. So you game plan around it. Now, let's go to the positive over the weekend because I'll tell you what, Matt, if you have not watched any NBA basketball so far, and I know it's early, the fact that the Los Angeles Lakers are 3-0 right now is a real surprise to me. Usually they're about 0-5 right now. So they usually get started off as they're terrible. I think J.J. Redick, for whatever reason, his analytical mind, I think he's working out for them. We'll see. Long season. But the football team, Phil, I know you were sitting up there. If you watched Kudus play at all, if you kept your eyes on him the other day, I thought he was unbelievable in the game. For someone that has not played, he was ridiculously good. And there was a major upgrade there. And I'm not trying to hate on Blackstock. I just think, and I know Mississippi State was down some guys, but look, Mississippi State has competed with some of these other teams in the SEC. It's not like they have went out there and, they can, especially offensively, they can move the ball. So, and they got something in that little quarterback, Matt. I think Mississippi State does for the future. But, yeah, man, I'm excited about this week, too. And the Steelers, they got to get it done for me with their defense tonight, Phil. My fantasy week is reliant on it.
We don't talk fantasy. We can't do that here on halftime.
I'm only kidding. Y'all have a good one.
Thanks, Charlie. I had to tell Sadie, my daughter, that yesterday as we're watching. I think we had the Chiefs game on. And she's looking at me like, man, that's what I need out of my fantasy team later. I was like, hold on a moment here, Sadie. These are the rules. You can be an NFL fan. You can talk about anything you want to talk about. We can watch any game you want. Nobody cares about your fantasy team. This is a very important lesson for a 15-year-old who's just learning about fantasy football, isn't it, Matt? I feel like she kind of ingested it.
Nobody cares about your golf game, and nobody outside of your group cares about your fantasy team. We got to get Sadie at the horse track with her betting book, slapping her hip, yelling for the horse to go. Like, let's go, horse, let's go.
What have I done? What have I done? Pretty soon she's going to be calling
I feel a show
for
coming on in Hot Springs soon. Coming on, we go to the racetrack. Take Sadie. Is she old enough yet? How old you got to be? 16 to go to the racetrack?
Well, to actually like bet your own money. That's a good question.
18 maybe. Yeah.
Probably 18. Yeah, she'll ask me, but I don't know. I can't get myself in trouble for this. Next thing I know, she'll be calling up sports shows across the state, calling for like coaches' heads and everything. More than anything, it'll have to do with she's lost her bets than any other thing with the program. What have I done?
What is so we've all three seen this now. Is this true? Am I?
Yeah, apparently this is. The word has come in. The word has come in. Matt saw it first out of the Sam Pittman press conference that tight ends Ty Washington and Varkey's Gums are no longer with the team. I'd seen that. I hate it too. Like I saw Washington I think he was a late addition to the availability report. I don't remember seeing him on there, and then all of a sudden he was out. So obviously, I guess when it comes to availability, it's not just a matter of injuries. It's a matter of, are you still on the team? So now, hey, this was a position of strength, and it still is. But instead of having 4 tight ends, they're down to 2, which probably means Josh Street gets a little bit more time at that position, which he was getting time at tight end. When they were down to 1 tight end, which was Gums, and now he's not even playing for him anymore.
I wonder too with Tesla, he's been coming on, and then what about the 29-year-old number 82? Is he been
Harrison?
He might be another big body that if you have to have a flex tight end, or at least there's something maybe he can get on the field that way.
A couple of other updates: Jaquindon Jackson and Jalen Braxton will be doubtful this week against Ole Miss. And that Rodney Hill is expected to be probable. So you may get back one of your running backs, but not the bell cow in Jaquindon Jackson. And it looks like another missed game for Jalen Braxton, which isn't a surprise because Sam said that he probably was going to be out until after the second bye. So there you go. That's just some of the news coming from the Sam Pittman press conference, which has gone on 12 minutes now, and we'll get more of that later on. Just a moment here at halftime, we will break, and we'll be visiting with Dr. Charlie Liggett and 3 Up, 3 Down on halftime. So stay with us.
This is halftime.
Hey, this is Dr. Charlie Liggett with River Valley Smile Center at 8309 Phoenix Avenue in Fort Smith. You can visit us online too at rivervalleysmiles.com. We'll be hosting a 3rd annual Operation Stand Down on Friday, November 1st. This event offers free extractions and cleanings for any veterans. To schedule an appointment, contact Gina Chandler at gina.chandler@arkansas.gov or your County Veteran Services Office. River Valley Smile Center. You come here, you become family.
From the Buffalo River to the Louisiana line, from the Texas and Oklahoma borders to the capital city and into the Delta, the natural beauty, the natural resources, and the hardworking citizens make Arkansas's 4th District more than just the heart of the natural state. It is a land of opportunity to raise families, to build communities, and to do our part for a brighter future. I'm Congressman Bruce Westerman. It's an honor to serve you. I approve this message and sincerely ask for your vote.
Paid for by Westerman for Congress. Up to $10,000 off or $7,000 off and 0% financing on select 2024 GMC Sierras at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The 24 GMC Sierra will conquer the road with confidence. Up to $10,000 off or take $7,000 in discounts and 0% financing with approved credit. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
This is Ricky Young with Mr. Cabbage Head and the Screaming Radishes, vegetable-related rock for a healthier lifestyle. When we have any problem at all, we call 782-8940.
It's a great time to take advantage of York Factory rebates on high-efficiency HVAC products. Give us a call at 782-8940.
That's 782-8940.
Get the best deals of the year on select New Holland tractors and hay equipment right now at WT Equipment during New Holland's year-end value bonanza. Get the biggest savings with cash back plus 0% interest, $0 down, and zero due until 2025. Don't miss your chance to harvest our best deals on New Holland's best equipment during value bonanza now at WT Equipment. Offer ends December 31st or while supplies last. For commercial use only. Subject to credit approval and CNH Industrial Capital America LLC approval. Standard terms, conditions, and restrictions apply.
Witz Marine, your authorized Mercury dealer, is ready to take care of your winterization needs. With cold weather just around the corner, be sure to get your Mercruiser stern drives drained and flushed with antifreeze. For those with outboards, it's a great time to change the oil and service the lower unit. Plus, treat your fuel for a trouble-free next season. Don't get caught this winter. It's also a great time to repower the old boat with a new reliable Mercury engine. That's Witz Marine, your authorized repower center. 823 North 11th next to Wheeler Power Sports in Fort Smith.
Billy, can I ask you a question?
You just did.
Seriously, we are getting a lot of positive comments about you. What's your secret?
Oh, I just follow the 4 W's.
4 W's? Aren't there 5?
5?
Yeah. What, where, when, why, and who?
Wes, who starts with an H?
That's how.
I don't know how. It just does.
No, who starts with a W?
You sure?
Positive.
Anywho, my 4 W's are, what would Wes want? I picture every customer like there's you asking for something. What you want is what they want. What would Wes want? WWWW, 4 W's, makes 8 U's.
Huh?
Treat customers like you, and it doubles the people. Pretty simple the way I see it.
4 W's. What would Wes want? Billy, you're brilliant.
Eat Jim's, RazorbackPizza.com.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game.
ESPN 95.3. Make sure to follow Halftime on Twitter at HitThatLineAR and on Facebook and Instagram at HitThatLine. Call or text 877-377-6963. Now back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
There's no other, news that we could classify as breaking from the Sam Pittman press conference, but we'll put that away for a moment. Remember, we'll be talking with Mike Urban from Pig Trail Nation around an hour from now. He is in on the Coach Pittman presser, so we'll get a little more updates from him, and we'll revisit some of that stuff in the upcoming segment. But for right now, we have Dr. Charlie Liggett with us from River Valley Smile Center, and it's time for 3 Up, 3 Down.
It's time for 3 Up, 3 Down. Presented by River Valley Smile Center with Dr. Charles Liggett.
Good morning, good afternoon, good night. What does 3 up and 3 down mean to you, Airman?
End of an inning, strike 3.
All right, I'll start with my first one. And Dr. Liggett, it's always good to have you along with us today. How you doing today, Charlie?
Man, I'm doing great. Great weekend to be a Hog fan.
Certainly is. Good weekend to be a sports fan. I mean, it's some great NFL games. Friday and Saturday, the World Series was just riveting. The exhibition game on Friday was great. College football has just been incredible from the start. But it'll be our last weekend with all of that happening because the World Series won't go into next weekend. Too bad. That's how it happens sometimes. My first up, I'm going to go right to the head man of the Arkansas football team, Sam Pittman. The win against Mississippi State on Saturday was his 14th in the SEC. That is more than the last 3 coaches combined had. You had, think about this. You had Bielema, you had Chad Morris, John L. Smith combined for 13 SEC wins. Coach Pittman has 14. Now, admittedly, 14-25 is the SEC record, but, trending up from last year, certainly from 1 SEC win to 3, and you'll have an opportunity for a fourth this coming Saturday. My first down is to the Baltimore Ravens, which I'm always down on the Ravens as a Pittsburgh fan, but 7-point favorites on the road, big loss to Cleveland, and Kyle Hamilton dropping the potential game-winning interception. And, man, the other aspect of this, too, is Cleveland's just a better team when they don't have Deshaun Watson behind center, even though Winston, Baltimore should have won that game. I don't think there was just one dropped interception. I think there were a couple of them, 2 or 3 potentially. So Ravens get it down from me.
Yeah, that's my first down as well. Was you had your All-Pro safety drop the interception. Jameis Winston able to lead him on a touchdown the next play. Everybody I think would have thought the Ravens divisional game though, and it's what it comes down to. I have a feeling this Ole Miss game is going to come down to 1 or 2 plays, and you got to make them when you get the opportunity. This Arkansas offense, they made the plays when they had the opportunity. The running game, they did whatever they want. The passing game, they did whatever they want. Defense, oh my goodness, turnover, the second play of the game. Yep, that's my first up. Big shout out for the Hogs, getting another SEC road victory.
There you go. Dr. Liggett, what do you have? Your first up, first down?
My first up is the basketball team. Man, we went out and watched that game, and holy cow, those guards, unreal. DJ Wagner and Boogie Fland, their defense on the ball, we haven't had guards like that in a long time, man. It's and yeah, Big Z, he was kind of up and down. He had some moments. He really clogs up the middle, and but the coolest thing to me was in the first half, or the first 2 quarters, we only had 3 turnovers. And this is a team that has never played together, and several of the guys hadn't even practiced. And you come out and only turn the ball over 3 times in the first half. Pretty impressive.
Yeah, that's really good. What about your first down?
My first down is, you guys talked about it a little bit earlier, but Tyreek Stevenson, turned your back on the play and taunting the crowd, and then the play takes off, and you realize that the play's going. You run over, tip the ball, and tip it into the hands of the opponent, and you lose by 3. Man, that's a pretty rough day at the office. But he issued an apology, so everything's okay, I guess.
Well, so you look at like a couple of defensive backs that we just talked about here. Wouldn't you much like Hamilton was at least in the right place, was paying attention. That was just a physical error. That was just couldn't hold on to the ball. That happens sometimes. Should have been able to hold on to it. It was right in his breadbasket. But these things happen. For Stevenson, this is about as mental of a mistake as it gets. It almost feels like it's unforgivable to a point because he wasn't paying attention.
I know. Do you think they'll release him?
I don't know.
Depends on where he is on the depth chart. It depends on if he's a locker room. It kind of there's a couple things that go into it. I've seen guys get released if you drop an onside kick on the hands team and you drop it, then that right there inexcusable. So I just don't know where he is talent wise, but that could matter. Yeah.
My second up, I'm going to go to the idea of. And I'm changing mid thought here because Dr. Liggett took my backcourt idea with Boogie Flynn and DJ Wagner. But I'm going to go to the idea you can pay attention to more than one team at the same time. Like we have this mindset sometimes, and I'm guilty of it too. Even saying it on the show, it's like, all right, well, people are going to move away from football season and pay attention to basketball season. But yet again, I know most of our listeners here, if not all of you, are Razorback fans, and you have other teams that you like as well, which might be an NBA or NFL or Major League Baseball team. And I just don't, hey, I'm somebody that has to pay attention to all the teams at the same time because we're talking about them. And I'm doing play-by-play for a couple of them while hosting the football pregame show. And yeah, I appreciate also the idea that our listeners do have jobs that also take your mindset away from sports and families and lives and things like that. But I do feel like you can pay attention to Razorback basketball and football at the same time. I don't get the idea of just moving on to basketball because you think football season isn't what you would hope for, or not contending for a playoff spot or anything. You know, we have a little more bandwidth in our brains than I think we give ourselves credit for sometimes. Second
baseball
down,
and basketball would overlap.
That's right. That's what I mean. But even then, Dr. Liggett, it's like people will say, well, I'm going to move over. You know, I'll move to baseball season. I'm not going to care about basketball right now, but I don't know. Just like you can, or because we're in the tournament and it's March that, you know, you're not paying attention to baseball or anything. And I understand, like, some parts of seasons are more important for one sport than others. I just do think we have the bandwidth to pay attention to more than just one team. Second down goes to flash in the pan playoff teams like the Missouri Tigers and the New York Jets. Teams that haven't been anywhere near that level for a long time and aren't going to get there this year either. Now, for Missouri, it's a different aspect because they're going to be a different team without Brady Cook if he can't play, if that ankle is an issue. I think they'll have trouble winning any league game, even though the rest of their schedule is Oklahoma, Carolina, and Mississippi State, because these are teams that sooner or later are going to find a way to beat a team with a winning record. And I think Arkansas will beat Mizzou too. The Jets, it's just, I don't know. It's like they're the Pirates of the NFL for no reason too, because they're in New York. Like, they should be a franchise that wins, but they're not. And I can't imagine that they're going to be. Woody Johnson says this is the most talented team he's had in a long time since he's owned them, and yet they stink. And I don't know if I see any way out of this either. So my second down goes to the Tigers of Missouri and the Jets of New York. Matt, what do you got number 2?
First up, the Dodgers. They start off 2-0, being able to take advantage of being at home field. So they're up 2-0, going back to the Bronx. And they say a series doesn't start till you get a road victory. The series might be over if the Dodgers win Game 3. So big game tonight. Dodgers starting off 2-0. And then my second down is something we've talked about already, but the Bears fail Mary against the Commanders.
I do love the term Fail Mary. That's fun. Dr. Liggett, number 2 for you.
Okay, so number 2, I don't agree with everything that Deion says and does, but I thought this was pretty cool. So he gave the game ball today to a lady named not today, but Saturday, to a lady named Miss Peggy. She's 99 years old, and she's been going to games since the 40s. She has COVID, so she missed the game. And after the game, Deion said, she's getting the game ball and all this. And he also said that he's going to get her a private jet to fly her to the bowl game that they qualified for Saturday. I thought that was pretty cool to do that for a 99-year-old fan who's been coming to games for 50, 60 years.
Well, and too, Dr. Liggett, I've been as critical as anybody, from the outside looking in on Deion Sanders in Colorado. Where they're going to a bowl game. They are much improved from last year, and I think a 2-year turnaround like this, I think is rather impressive.
Yeah.
Second down, what do you got?
Second down, Matt, I want to get your opinion on this. But Anthony Richardson pulled himself from the game because he said he was tired. I've never heard of a quarterback pull himself from a game when you're down by they may be down by 10 points or 2 touchdowns, driving, and he just pulls himself because he's tired. What do you think about that?
I've never heard of any player in the history of playing sports in all the sports that have just said, "No, I can't go. I'm tired."
Yeah.
That, and unless you're like maybe in 3rd grade or something, I just don't think that goes over well in a locker room. I don't know what was wrong with him, but that was my one of my downs as well. He's 10 of 32, 1 interception, 1 touchdown, sacked 5 times. I guess the last guy to do it was the boxer that said no mas.
Yeah.
That's right. That was Roberto Duran. That's exactly right. Third up for me, Freddie freaking Freeman with the 18th all-time World Series walk-off home run. First ever grand slam to end a World Series game. And I'm not a fan of either of these teams, But I'm lying in my bed in the hotel in Mississippi with the game on, and watching this with my jaw just dropped when the home run was hit. I'm standing on the bed, screaming at the top of my lungs, screaming, "Let's go!" I couldn't care less who wins this series. What an incredible moment. And now we'll mention Freddie Freeman's name all along with Mazeroski and
as long as
Mickey
they win
Mantle.
the World Series. If they lose the World Series, you're not going to talk about it as much.
No, well, it's interesting to view it from that vantage point because sometimes we forget that the Cincinnati Reds won the 1975 World Series because the most famous moment of that series is the Carlton Fisk home run in Game 6, which sent it to Game 7. But, I mean, you make a good point. It'll end up being the things like, oh, you remember that great Game 1? Yeah, but they ended up losing the series. But it still is, that's just kind of craziness to think about. A game-ending grand slam. Literally almost the exact same. There were some differences between that one and the Gibson home run. Cortez is not a reliever. Eckersley was the greatest reliever of his time at that moment. Gibson didn't get another at-bat for the entire World Series because he had the torn hamstring and barely made it around the bases.
That's
Freeman
what's so crazy. He didn't even play. He didn't play except for that at-bat.
That's right, yeah. So, but even just the raising of the bat, the time of the night. It was fantastic. Third down is to me, on my opinion, on the Dodgers not having enough pitching because I think they actually might have enough pitching now to win a World Series. So I'll give myself a down for that.
Let's go baseball. My third down, we've already talked about it. It was the same as Dr. Charlie's with the Anthony Richards and the Colts, what's going on. But my third up goes to Phil's favorite Classico. You had the Classico going on Saturday. Barca at the can't even say it right. They're at Real Madrid, but they win 4-0. Your boy, 18-year-old Jamal, he scored a goal. Lewandowski, the Polish assassin, he had a brace. And then Rafinha, who's a Brazilian G, he added another one, and they were able to win 4-0.
That sounds like a Classico to remember. Dr. Liggett, your last up, last down.
All right. Once again, these are both kind of related here. My up is Tua's back. Man, he looked really good. Dolphins looked like a NFL offense again, and everything was going really good until the defense let him down. Secondary looked terrible, and that's my down. Bad angles on Kyler, and they kicked the walk-off field goal to beat them. So, but at least the offense is clicking again. So that'll be good for the second half of the season.
And what do you got for your last down?
That was my down. The defense played so bad.
All right, you got an up, third up.
Well,
it's all the same thing. It's all the same thing together here. Okay.
Yeah, it was just kind of both.
All the same thing together. All right. Well, that's 3 up, 3 down. It's presented by River Valley Smile Center. Matt is a patient of Dr. Liggett, and you can be too.
Man, it's been pretty cool getting to know Dr. Charlie, and they've been BOB for, I believe it's 9 years in a row. That's best of the best. And, yeah, man, get out there and check them out. They'll take care of you.
Dr. Liggett, tell us some of the things that River Valley Smile Center specializes in.
We focus on cosmetics, but we do a lot of family dentistry, fillings, crowns, extractions, gum treatment, whitening, sleep apnea stuff, sedation, implants, and really a whole lot more. I mentioned this last week, but coming up this Friday, we have an event called Operation Stand Down, and that's where we do free dental work for veterans. And several local hygienists, dentists, and assistants and other team members are going to help us out. And we still got some spots open for veterans. So if you're a veteran out there and you need a cleaning or a tooth or teeth taken out, contact Gina at the VA. You can reach her at gina.chandler@arkansas.gov. The last day to sign up is Wednesday, so do it quick and get on the list. But I also want to send a quick shout out to First National Bank and Gary Puckett and Lance Kirkpatrick. They donated all the food for all of our volunteers, so we really appreciate that.
Dr. Liggett, one more time, that email address for veterans that would like to take advantage of free dental care.
It is gina.chandler@arkansas.gov.
Outstanding. To schedule an appointment with River Valley Smile Center, you can go to rivervalleysmiles.com or call 479-646-0706. Doc, finish it off.
Come see us at River Valley Smile Center. When you come here, you become family. Go Hogs.
Thanks, Doc.
That's 3 Up, 3 Down, brought to you by River Valley Smile Center and Dr. Charlie Liggett. We'll do it again next Monday. You can get with us on halftime, 877-377-6963. We'll be back right after the break.
This is Halftime.
You can now download our new app in the iTunes or Google Play Store. Listen anytime and anywhere on your favorite mobile device. Just search Hit That Line now.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online at hims.com/joy. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation to determine the ED medication that's best for you, discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and a range of treatment options, including trusted generic alternatives to the name brands, at up to 95% off. ED is personal, and at Hims, so is treating it. Just go to hims.com/joy and get connected to a licensed medical provider online for free, with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. HIMS.com/JOY.
This is Halftime.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
Patriot Transport wants to thank their drivers for their hard work and dedication. The local and over-the-road drivers are essential to the Patriot Transport mission. Day in and day out, Patriot Transport drivers are on the road striving for safety and success. To the behind-the-scenes dispatch and office employees, Patriot Transport thanks them as well for the hard work they put in day and night. If you want to be a part of the Patriot Transport family, visit patriottransport.com. Patriot Transport is located in Danville, Arkansas.
At Our Best Bank, we believe in the power of community. That's why we recognize, serve, and support communities of all kinds. From small towns to big cities, business startups to large companies, young families to seniors, and those with shared backgrounds and interests. We value your contributions and are proud to work alongside you, because every community deserves a financial partner who cares. Our Best Bank. We believe.
The best things in life never change. They just get better, like Hardee's Original Bag, just $6.99. Loaded with fries, a drink, and 2 full-size favorites. A juicy charbroiled double cheeseburger, melty hot ham and cheese sandwich, or crispy hand-breaded chicken tender wrap. Choose any 2 plus fries and a drink, all only $6.99. Hardee's Original Bag, loaded with handcrafted goodness. It's the greatest meal deal for your buck. Available for a limited time at participating restaurants.
It's sad that we live in an unsafe world, but we do. Would you be able to show the police who was at your home if something was taken? Guardtronic installs alarm systems as well as camera systems. We here at ESPN rely on our Guardtronic installed cameras to keep an eye on what's going on around our building, as many of you do. Guardtronic has been serving the River Valley for over 60 years. Call Guardtronic for a free estimate so you'll be able to show the police who the bad boys are that took your belongings. License E50.
Sometimes I'm in a hurry. Stay in the slow lane, buddy. That's when I use the Sodies app to order my favorites and pick up in their drive-thru. They even offer a 10% discount on your first app order. Experience different at Sodies Wine and Spirits off I-540 on Phoenix Avenue.
Every day is worth celebrating at Uncorked. Cocktails, wine, craft beer, bourbons, and unbelievably great food. Uncorked on Phoenix Avenue next to Sodies.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
I've got a secret I cannot say. They might move me, give it away. You got something I understand. Hold it in tightly, God on command. Leap of faith, do you doubt? Cut you in, I just cut you out.
Welcome back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Got a question or comment for the guys? Call or text 877-377-6963. Let's get back to the show with the voice of Arkansas Razorback baseball, Phil Elson, and Razorback football legend Matt Jones.
Looking at games played potentially for a reason why Ty Washington and Varkey's Gums leave the team, but they're already past that four game point where you can redshirt. So that can't be why either one of them have left the program that they wanted to redshirt. Sam Pittman did say, this is interesting too, Patrick Kudas wants to redshirt. So he just played in his first game of the year. There are 4 left. He can only play in 3 of them if he's going to redshirt.
You don't need him for Law Tech if he's healthy.
Right, that's what I wondered. So then he'll sit out the Law Tech game. And that means Keyshawn Blackstock would be back at left guard for that game specifically. I did see, when I thought Blackstock played well, but it looked to me like there was a little more of a push, a few more holes open on the left side with Kudas there, and he got more snaps. So it felt like they wanted him to get out there, and I don't know if it's a matter of pushing Blackstock or just in the coach's minds take his rightful spot as a starter on the offensive line. But it feels like they've figured out, Kudas is one of the 5 best.
Yeah, healthy competition. Nothing wrong with that. You wonder with the tight ends if that had anything to do with it, because the coaches want you to come out there and compete. All Ty Washington did whenever he got out there on the field was make plays. I was expecting, I thought he would keep growing and keep getting better is what I was thinking. But maybe I don't know. You hate it. One of the things that I really dislike about college football right now is how many players quit on their teammates. I just don't understand. You had the UNLV guy quit on your teammates. You just had 2 guys on this Arkansas team quit on your teammates. It's just a weird world we live in where it's acceptable to quit on your teammates in the middle of the season. And if I have a program, if I'm running a program and I know I'm not the only one that thinks like this, but I have to understand, I have to talk to you. Why'd you quit on your teammates? Why do you want to come play for my school now when you quit after 6? What's going on? What was the disconnect? Because sometimes it's not easy, but you stick through it. You make a commitment to your brothers. You make a commitment to your teammates. You don't quit. You don't quit on your teammates in the middle of the season. Just absolutely, it's gross. It really is one of the worst things that it's about college sports right now. Is you see it all the time.
Well, and it will be really interesting to see and follow what happens with him. Like people have asked, where's Sluka playing now? Has anybody picked him up? No. I don't think anybody can. That's the old UNLV quarterback that said he wasn't getting his NIL money. And so his whole reason was because of redshirting. This has nothing to do with redshirting, so it does make me scratch my head a little bit. Lane Kiffin said, and I didn't realize, Walter Nolan, one of the top defensive linemen in the nation, had to leave their game against Oklahoma in the second half. He was asked about that at his press conference today, and Kiffin said he didn't know if he'd be available. Said he was not able to go back in. We'll see. Nolan is one of the reasons that there's such a dominant team on the line of scrimmage. So right then and there, you can kind of maybe see a little bit of an opening as far as that's concerned. But I know they built up a ton of depth on that defensive line too, so it's not like things are going to get any easier. Jaquindon Jackson still doubtful. So when I think of all the times that Jackson has popped up after a hit and kind of limped off the field, I'm not too surprised that he might need a couple of weeks to be ready for this. Let's see. Got to feel pretty good about basketball after this exhibition win over Kansas. First thing that you look at, and I think Dr. Liggett brought it up. You bring this up a lot, Matt, when you're looking at how a team might perform. They've got they got those guards. DJ Wagner and Boogie Fland were basically what everybody was talking about after this exhibition. Fland looks like he can get to the rim almost whenever he wants. And Wagner's a guy that's going to be able to put up some points for you too. Man, they got maybe potentially a high-scoring backcourt. They got the size inside. This is going to be a fun basketball season.
Well, one thing about a Coach Calipari team is they're going to be 9 times out of 10, we're going to have the better athletes. We're going to be the most athletic team. As far as an open gym scrimmage run against the backups, I'm not really going to. It's cool, but that's nothing to
I know Kansas was down a couple of their. They were down Dickinson and another one of their starters, but it's the first thing Calipari said was, "Let's not do triple backflips."
Hey, it's an open gym. Carmelo Anthony looks great in open gym. James Harden looks great in open gym. Can't win a title. I want to see how these kids play defense. I want to see how they work together. There's so many other things you want to see. But yes, watching open gym with the Coach Calipari team, we're going to be the most athletic team. We should look good.
Well, it's a tough. Well, I guess we'll get to see. I don't know if Friday's game is televised, the exhibition against TCU. I know it'll be aired on this station, but SEC Network decided to pick up the exhibition against Kansas. This is on the road against a Big 12 school, so I don't think it's a matter of SEC Network making any decisions or even ESPN. So this may be the kind of exhibition that is strictly on the radio, and that is it. Let's see, some text coming in here. Troy likes your opinion on players quitting on teammates in the middle of the season. Again, the whole point of some of the players leaving programs or just stopping playing is because they want to preserve their year of eligibility. I'm not making any value judgment on that one way or another. This has nothing to do with it. This is not about preserving your red shirt or eligibility. I don't know what it's about. If it's about with Gums, I'm not getting enough playing time, or maybe because it did look at times that he's, not maybe SEC material, but I thought Washington was. So that's one that's a little bit disappointing. 877-377-6963 to get with us here on Halftime. All right, we'll break here. We'll come back, wrap up our second hour after this.
This is Halftime.
Bow season is underway, and Jelco Outdoors has all your archery and hunting equipment to help you bag that big buck. Select new compound bows by Bowtech, Elite, and Hoyt. Save $200 off. BearTech crossbow packages, now only $329.99. Save $200 off select Raven crossbows. Clothing, boots, tree stands, saddle equipment, feeders, nut grub, and grunt calls. Jelco has it all for you. Good luck and safe hunting. And remember, a great hunt begins at Jelco Outdoors.
Brothers Roofing and Restoration, a licensed and insured local roofing contractor in Arkansas. Since his playing days for the Hogs, Brother Alexander has been on rooftops, many years as an adjuster, and in the past decade as a roofing contractor. He knows how to help you through the insurance process while replacing your roof using only the industry's best materials. And being a lifelong Arkansan, he'll be here to stand behind his workmanship and warranty. Call 479-353-3877 to arrange a time for Brother and his team to inspect your roof.
Hurry up, dude. The game's about to start.
Nothing beats spending the day watching the game with your buddies.
Dude, I'm literally right here. Let's do this.
Which is why a shelter insurance renter's policy is key to your winning game plan. It protects things your landlord's policy doesn't.
Dude, where's your TV? What? No way, dude.
Like that flat screen TV that just got stolen.
Call Jason Hill in Greenwood or Wade Gilkey in Fort Smith.
When you need tough and paint just isn't enough, check out River City Coatings in Van Buren. When it comes to your metals, paint can peel and crack over time. Whether it's your patio furniture, rims or trims on your automobile, or heavy equipment, no one has time for a redo. Powder coating provides the toughness you need. Preserve your investment with powder coating from River City Coatings. River City Coatings, certified John Deere, Caterpillar, ISO 9001, Packer, and UL provider of tough. River City Coatings, 471-7675 or online at rivercitycoatings.com. BroadwayMotors.com.
Before you buy that next car or truck, stop by Broadway Motors in Van Buren. The best of the best for 2 straight years. Michael and his team offer the best prices on the best quality pre-owned vehicles in the River Valley. They invite you to stop by and check it out for yourself. Or if you prefer to check out their inventory online or even do your financing online. Michael has built his reputation as a husband, father, and owner-operator since 2006. Broadway Motors, 806 Broadway in Van Buren, or online at BroadwayMotorsAR.com.
The best things in life never change. They just get better, like Hardee's Original Bag, just $6.99. Loaded with fries, a drink, and 2 full-size favorites. A juicy charbroiled double cheeseburger, melty hot ham and cheese sandwich, or crispy hand-breaded chicken tender wrap. Choose any 2 plus fries and a drink, all only $6.99. Hardee's Original Bag, loaded with handcrafted goodness. It's the greatest meal deal for your buck. Available for a limited time at participating restaurants.
It's sad that we live in an unsafe world, but we do. Would you be able to show the police who was at your home if something was taken? Guardtronic installs alarm systems as well as camera systems. Here at ESPN Arkansas, we rely on Guardtronic installed cameras to keep an eye on the radio station when we're not here. Guardtronic has been serving the River Valley for over 60 years. Call Guardtronic for a free estimate so you'll be able to show the police who the bad boys are that took your stuff. Guardtronic, license E50.
Honey, I found a great new house for us to buy. Look at the photos.
Yeah? Who's gonna clean that big house?
We'll hire a housekeeper.
And who's gonna mow all that grass?
I will, on the weekends.
And who will get the kids to school?
We'll start a neighborhood couple.
You thought of everything, didn't you?
Yeah.
Except, who's gonna sell this house we're living in now?
Nick and Ellie Glidewell. NickandEllie.com. Equal housing opportunity, Sagely and Edwards Realtors.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Feel you. You're talking to yourself and what you're used to. Don't work no one else. I'll teach you. Keep you for myself. I'm gonna take you by the hand. I'm gonna hold you to my mouth so I can hear you. So, now you be sure not to use your special money. And rupees up your sleeve, I'm gonna teach you.
Welcome back into Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Studios. Crabtree RV Center in Alma, where we make your dreams come true.
Well, Gus Malzahn fired as defensive coordinator. Bid Ted Roof an adieu after a 5-game losing streak, 37 points allowed in 3 of these last 5 games. You start getting rid of coordinators. Who knows? Maybe the head coach is around the corner at some point too. UCF has lost 5 straight games. KJ Jefferson hasn't played since October the 5th. Just not working out very well over there in the Big 12 for UCF, for Gus, or for KJ either. And then I also saw when reporters start to throw around your buyout total, the rumors start to fly around as well. Pete Thamel wrote something earlier on Yahoo Sports about the buyout for Lincoln Riley at USC. It's his 3rd year at USC, and it's a $90 million buyout for USC.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
Wow.
Not going too well right there either. That's, moving from one league to the other and everything. I get it, but hey, doesn't look like Oregon's had too much trouble moving into the Big Ten just yet. You get USC right now 2-4 in the Big Ten, and I saw a photo of the Coliseum. They played. I think they played on. I forget if it was Friday or Saturday night, but there was a World Series game. There was other games too. There might have been. I don't know. It's a big stadium, like maybe 10,000 people in the stadium. So they're not even selling tickets. Some of it might have to do with World Series, NBA, and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, tough times for the USC Trojans in the Big Ten, which right now it's like Indiana and Oregon are tied for first place in the Big Ten. I just have trouble, saying those words. Looking at the rest of this season, like Indiana is in a great position. They do get Ohio State. So, that's the biggest game left for them. And as far as Ohio State is concerned, and they had that close shave against Nebraska this past week. They got the one loss to Oregon, but they got a little bit of a tougher go of it. Penn State this week in Happy Valley, still got Indiana, and then finish with Michigan. But by that point, who knows what Michigan will have left. Big Ten's a fun race.
We'll see also, Phil, about Drew Aller, their quarterback at Penn State, and I've liked him since the beginning of the season or whatever, but he seems like he's been getting better each week. And when you just brought up USC, when Penn State went to USC, man, he made some big time throws on fourth down on the final drive. I think he's a super talent. And anytime you got to go to the backup, there might be a little drop off. Although the backup I think was 11 of 13, so. Maybe they'll be all right.
Things just seem to change a little bit, depending on who it is, what your strengths of your backup are compared to your starter. And that's what makes like the situation at A&M so interesting, because Connor Wigman, when he's on, is a very accurate passer. It's just there've been 2 or 3 games this year where he has not been on. And then you throw Reed in there, and he played most of the second half. He threw 2 passes. This is a guy that they're just going to hand the ball and either hand it off to Le'Veon Moss or let Reed do his running. So, the offense totally changes when you have Reed out there compared to Wigman. And, man, I got to double check here and see what Mike Elko has said about who they're thinking about potentially starting against Carolina this weekend. You got a team that's in first place in the league that's won, what is it now, 7 games in a row A&M has won? And yet they've made a change for November in their quarterback. Get with us on halftime, 877-377-6963, and make sure that you get your Razorback gear at the Stadium Shop. Anything you need, including tailgating, game day, man cave, dorm room stuff. Doesn't get any more Razorback than the Stadium Shop. Robert, Elizabeth, and Matt are alumni, and they are family. They are local. Call them at 479-STADIUM or stop by the Stadium Shop on Razorback or online at shoponrazorback.com. Third hour of halftime. Mike Irwin, about 20 minutes. Stay with us.
Ladies and gentlemen, Adventure Dave will be attempting his greatest stunt yet. He will jump over 100 boats, ATVs, cars, and trucks, all at Adventure Oklahoma in Roland. Brought to you by Auto Finders. Here he comes now. Adventure Dave, why did you choose Adventure Oklahoma for this stunt?
Well, Tom, Adventure Oklahoma is your one-stop shop for adventure. Plus, no one else would let me jump over their boats and ATVs.
Adventure Oklahoma by Auto Finders has it all. Brand new, used, that's right. CF Moto, Arctic Cat, and Segway side-by-sides and ATVs, all with a free 5-year warranty. Only offered by Adventure Oklahoma. Plus, G3 boats, Suncatcher pontoons, and Falcon Bass boats with delivery up to 100 miles away. The lowest priced pre-owned vehicles in the area with 90 days to your first payment.
That's right. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have a date with Destiny.
Yes, and what a jump it will be.
No, the jump is tomorrow. This is Destiny.
See y'all later.
Well, until then, visit Adventure Oklahoma in Roland. Brought to you by Auto Finders. AutoFindersOK.com.
Your journey starts here.
This is a public service announcement for hard seltzer lovers. Neutral Vodka Seltzer has arrived. Made with simple ingredients like vodka, seltzer, and real juice. Neutral tastes good. Like real good. So good that you'll never want to drink another artificial tasting seltzer again. Neutral's light and refreshing taste will show you what a vodka seltzer can be. Try Neutral, the one with the umlaut. Copyright 2023 Neutral Distilled Spirit Specialty, Los Angeles, California. Enjoy responsibly.
Finally, football season. Papa's Pub and Pizzeria is your #1 place to watch Arkansas and Monday Night Football. During Monday Night Football, $5 refillable beer cups for only $2 refills. Prizes for each score and at the end of every single quarter.
Can you believe that they've had the same great pizza since 1996? That's nearly 30 years.
Papa's Pub and Pizzeria. You'll get the best darn pizza in Fort Smith, perhaps the world.
Whether you're planting a tree in your backyard or trenching at a construction site, a call to 811 helps prevent dangerous damage to underground utilities and is the first step in keeping yourself and your community safe. Hitting a line can knock out service to your home and neighborhood, resulting in fines, damages, serious injury, or worse. Safety is in your hands. Call 811 before you dig. It's easy, it's free, and it's the law. This message is brought to you by Black Hills Energy.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, sunny and quite warm. Our high temperatures this afternoon will be right around the middle 80s. Gusty winds 20 to 30 miles per hour across the north. Partly cloudy sky tonight. An overnight low will drop down low to mid 60s. And then tomorrow, sunshine, highs low to mid 80s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Shamrock Liquor Warehouse, 5609 Midland Boulevard, your leader in fine wines, beers, and spirits. You're listening to ESPN 95.3, KERX Paris Fort Smith.
You sound like a participation trophy, Dad.
Coming to you live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that doesn't respect you.
Don't ask me if I'm all right. What can't they dominate? And we not doing it.
We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Well, Matt Jones may take it to the house.
You said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. What's my heart, dog? Let's go, man.
I have zero respect for saying no moss at halftime.
What name of one Razorback? Is vintage Matt Jones.
Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
Moving along, it's halftime on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com. Phil Elson, Matt Jones, Colton Little is producing for our final hour. We're visited by Mike Irwin from Pig Trail Nation in about 15 minutes. He was in on the Sam Pittman press conference, and it looks like there was a little clarity at the end of the press conference as to the situation with Varkey's Gums and Ty Washington. It doesn't sound, Matt, like they left the team. I think they were kicked off.
Well,
Coach Pittman said they left the team and there's no chance of coming back. They're off the team, I think was the correct wording.
So neither one of those are good, but at least they didn't quit on their teammates. At least they just couldn't follow rules is what it sounds like. So, there's rules you got going, and they tell you when you wear that Razorback uniform, you're not held to the rules of everybody else. You're held to a higher standard. That was kind of why you would have thought you would have saw Kirby Smart at least suspended or something after you punch another player. Because once you're in that position, once you're the leader, you are held to a higher standard. And there's team rules, man. I've been around coaches that it's very black and white when it comes to, there's no gray area when it comes to the team rules. You mess it up, and there's consequences for your actions.
That's really messing it up, too. I mean, Gums had an opportunity. He was the only healthy tight end for a week there. And Washington, man, he went from all the kid does is catch touchdowns when you throw the ball to him to now something happened, some violation of team rules, and it's bad enough to where they are no longer even going to be welcomed back after the suspension. Like, it's not a suspension. Like with Dubinion, Rashad Dubinion was suspended, missed a week. I can't remember which game it was, but he was welcomed back onto the team. So he had either, made his proper apologies or his rule breaking wasn't quite as bad as this is. But what also said, we got a text in about this too here, Matt, is who was it that said this? Stanley texted in from Springfield on 877-377-6963. He says Pittman is running this team now. He is running this team instead of the team running itself, which I think in Stanley's mind, he feels probably like last year there was more of the idea of the players. I don't know if it was a matter of like anybody was running it. It didn't feel like a very player-led team. In this case, you know who's running the show. I mean, Sam Pittman, apparently, this is his decision.
Just kind of puts a little black eye on the success this team's having, and just a great win. And then you got what does Peyton Manning say? I got to talk about some liquored up kicker that gets messed up and can't enjoy success. It's kind of like that. It's like, man, we just had another SEC road win, and then you got a couple kids that don't know how to act. So, I mean, I'm pulling for them because I think they're good kids and talented players. But it's just a shame that you go to Mississippi State and, we got a running back banged up. You got certain players, and then you got two knuckleheads that can't keep it together.
All right, Arkansas beats Mississippi State by a final score of 58-25, a complete offensive performance, 673 total yards, ran for 359, almost 10 yards a carry, 30 of 66 offensive plays went for a first down. Scored all 9 times. They got within the red zone. Felt like it was a really complete offensive performance, Matt, and great to see the defense taking it away 5 times and the offense turning that into a lot of points.
14 of 17, 3 tuds, 195 yards in the first half was Taylon Green. And then, the defense, you couldn't have asked for a better start. I was thinking take the ball, go down, put up points. Let's send our defense out there and get a turnover in short field. You couldn't draw it up any better. The one thing I would say, like when you start, you talk about some missed tackles on defense. You talk about that personal foul late in the game when they're kind of getting in a scruff or whatever. The other thing would be I was surprised that he didn't put the backups in a little sooner. I was surprised he didn't take a knee. You get to the end of the game, victory formation's the best formation in the history of sports, and it shows a little class. So I was surprised that our offense kind of, the game's over, put your backups in. Take a knee. There's no, I don't know. It just seemed like a little like we're not used to winning yet. And when you got a lead like that, man, Mississippi State's going to win 0 games. You've already won. Those would be a couple things you can nitpick at, but 58 points, whatever. I mean, you win by 20 points on the road, you got to take it.
Feels like Dubinion and Russell will be featured once again. And I could kind of tell that Taylon wasn't going to be feeling effects from that knee injury or from the bone bruise when he came out for warm-ups and didn't have a sleeve on that knee. He had a sleeve on it the week before. And, man, you could see that in the way that he just – were there 2 or 3 broken ankles from MSU defenders?
He looked like a video game, man. And I think, Phil, the very first segment you said number 10 was the best player on the field, and yes, he was. Taylon Green that was his game. And I know Russell did his thing, DeBinion did. Everybody was doing it, but he was facilitating. He was in control. He didn't get sped up. I mean, you watch him from start to finish. It was Taylon Green's best game as a Razorback.
It's kind of interesting looking at because I'm looking more now at the statistics, the averages against conference teams. Because look, Ole Miss's non-conference schedule: Furman, Middle Tennessee, Wake Forest, and Georgia Southern.
Throw those out. Throw those four
out. Hogs faced tougher competition than they did out of conference. So looking at the conference numbers, offensively, there's not too much of a difference between Arkansas and Ole Miss. There really isn't. Ole Miss scores 24 points a game in conference. Arkansas, 25.5. Yards per game, about 14-yard difference. Arkansas has more total. In fact, the Razorbacks lead the SEC in total offense in conference games. Hogs run it with more success than Ole Miss does in the SEC. Ole Miss has the edge in passing, and they also have the edge in not turning the ball over. That's an aspect. 1 interception thrown by Ole Miss in conference games. Hogs still, even there was still the 1 interception thrown by Green in this last game. And so Ole Miss gets to the quarterback. That's a way that they're going to create turnovers. Mississippi State never really, in my mind, threatened to get to Taylon Green. They didn't have much of their defensive line. Ole Miss going to come after you. And they are getting to the quarterback at a rate that almost nobody else in the country is. 34 sacks. That's second most in the country. So, it's a completely different game plan from last week to this next week. I like that I saw Arkansas do what I feel they should have done to Mississippi State, even on the road, but I just don't know how much carryover there is from one to the next, other than just feeling confident that you went out, you executed your game plan last week, and you won a game. But like Ole Miss, what are they, 25 times better than Mississippi State, 30 times better? I guess we'll find out end of the month when they play in the Egg Bowl, but I don't think that's going to be a pretty game, Matt.
Well, they have some talent on offense as well. I do think this is both teams that are led by their defense, and that's how they're going to have success. I mean, Ole Miss's defense, in my opinion, is up there with Tennessee, up there with A&M. I think they're better than LSU's defense. I don't think their offense is better, but they do have some guys that scare you, and that's the thing when you start playing better teams like that. Their receiving crew, they got a couple of them. I know they're led by Harris, who's their all-everything receiver who's going to play on Sundays. But you're going to have to know your assignment, can't get lost with your eyes. Lane Kiffin's so good about getting open. You'll see him put his hands up as soon as the ball snapped. He's so good at figuring out what you're doing and making halftime adjustments. You saw them make that halftime adjustments against Oklahoma. I think Lane Kiffin's a top 3 offensive mind in the SEC. So it's going to be a matchup with Travis Williams, and I like Travis Williams. I think he knows what he's doing, but it's going to be an interesting chess matchup between those two guys right there.
But you're right about the weapons, too. So Trey Harris is the receiver you mentioned, and he leads the nation in yards per game. But they have 8 players that average over 15 yards per catch. Dart, their quarterback, leads the nation in yards per attempt, 11 yards per attempt. A lot of big plays there, and Dart does it 2 ways. Like this is the most dangerous two-way quarterback that Arkansas has faced this year. Just like Taylon Green has become so much more dangerous throwing the ball accurately, and of course his legs. Jackson Dart too. Like Dart is number 1 in the SEC in total offense. Green is number 3. So this will be. I think this will be the toughest test for the Arkansas defense, potentially because of Dart's elusiveness and ability to run. Now I don't think they quite have the tackles that LSU has, but I think that's the game plan that they'll go look at when they'll see how LSU ran against Arkansas. If they got numbers in their favor, that's a thing that's a little difficult to figure out what it is you try to stop, because Ole Miss is just as effective running the ball as they are throwing the ball. And the athleticism of the quarterback is one reason why. Monday Night Football, World Series tonight. Best place to be watching it, of course, is Twin Peaks and Rogers. It's your sports headquarters. They got sports blasting from every single angle. Your head won't even have to be on a swivel because the game's right in front of you. 29-degree draft beer always flowing, made from scratch fan favorites. You get the ultimate game day experience at Twin Peaks in Rogers, or go to TwinPeaksRestaurant.com and get your Twin Peaks favorites to go. More TVs, bigger screens, and scenic views. As always, there is much more to watch at Twin Peaks. Stay with us. Halftime is joined by Pig Trail Nation's Mike Irwin right after the break.
This is Halftime.
National Championship Program. National Championship Coach. A match made in hog heaven.
This program, you talk about some of the best jobs in the country. In basketball, this is one of them. This fan base is so engaged. I love it.
Throws it up at the horn. It's good.
This program is the state's program.
Listen to every moment of John Calipari's first season.
Right here on ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com.
Fall is here, and that means cooler weather, football, and family, which makes it the perfect time to visit Southern Tire Mart, your family's #1 tire store. Southern Tire Mart is your trusted partner for top quality tires, professional services, and competitive pricing. Visit us in Fort Smith at 9700 Highway 271 and let us ensure your vehicle is ready for anything fall brings your way. Southern Tire Mart is a proud dealer of Yokohama tires. We keep America rolling.
From the Buffalo River to the Louisiana line, from the Texas and Oklahoma borders to the capital city and into the Delta, the natural beauty, the natural resources, and the hardworking citizens make Arkansas Sports District more than just the heart of the natural state. It is a land of opportunity to raise families, to build communities, and to do our part for a brighter future. I'm Congressman Bruce Westerman. It's an honor to serve you. I approve this message and sincerely ask for your vote.
Paid for by Westerman for Congress.
October is Slingshot month at Wheeler Power Sports in Fort Smith. We have a great selection of new Polaris Slingshots in stock, some with financing available as low as 1.99% for 36 months and 0 down payment with approved credit. Fall is the perfect time to get out and see the natural state in the new Slingshot from Wheeler Power Sports. Serving all over Arkansas and eastern Oklahoma. WheelerPowersports.com. Wheeler Power Sports, keeping the good times rolling since 1967.
Let me grab my car keys and we'll roll.
We still going to that new bar downtown?
Yeah, it's supposed to be fun. Lexi, give me driving directions from home to downtown Bar District.
Autocorrect. Suggest Uber. Pick up, home. Drop off downtown Bar District.
No, I'm driving.
Suggest the Metro bus. Departing in 12 minutes.
Point taken, Lexi. We'll grab a ride.
If you drink, don't drive. Decide to ride. Brought to you in partnership by Anheuser-Busch, Mothers Against Drunk Driving, and Uber.
What makes Crabtree RV Center different? First, we are a fourth-generation family-owned business, taking pride in making your family's dreams come true. No corporate mentality here. Second, we've been in business for 74 years, founded in 1950 here in the River Valley, Northwest Arkansas area. We are not going anywhere. What does that mean for our customers? A family feel with no corporate hidden fees. The reassurance that we will be here for generations to come, and knowledgeable salespeople who want to pick the right RV for your family to make lifetime memories in. Crabtree RV Center, making your family's dreams come true for over 70 years.
At Dobson Fiber, we're helping you build stronger connections by bringing the fastest internet network available to your business. Why fiber? Fiber internet provides reliable, symmetrical, blazing speeds. Without any interruptions or buffering, you can rely on Dobson for all your data needs. With Dobson Fiber as your premium internet provider, you can focus on the things that matter and the connections you build. To see if fiber is available to you, visit Dobson.net. Dobson Fiber, building stronger connections.
Up to $3,000 off and 0.9% financing on all 2024 Buick Encore GXs at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The Buick Encore GX is a boldly styled 5-person SUV that is ready to reward. Up to $3,000 off and 0.9% financing for well-qualified buyers. This is a limited time offer. Experience the new Buick at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith and online at harryrobinson.com.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Stay home, feel good, looking at the breeze blow. Shivers in my spine, caught in my brain. Melts me like butter, melts me like butter.
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Want to jump in the conversation? Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Time for a conversation with Pig Trail Nation's Mike Irwin, who gives us some of his time each Monday, sometimes before, sometimes after the Sam Pittman press conference. So, Mike, as we bring you on, we know about the tight ends, Washington and Gums, who've been, well, they said left the team. Sounds like they were kicked off the team. Outside of that, and Jaquindon Jackson and Jalen Braxton still doubtful. Not sure else what Coach Pittman have said. So what can you tell us?
You know, that development, especially with Washington, shocking, and nobody seems to know what happened. It sounds like they may be gone for good. I mean, there wasn't a definitive statement, but they've been removed from the website. And sort of the scuttlebutt over there apparently was they might not be back at all. But whatever, I don't know. We'll never know exactly for sure what happened. It's weird that usually in a situation like that, you got a police report or something, and you don't have anything like that. So people are going to speculate what they did, but they're gone. I guess it's good that Luke has had his best game of the year. in light of that, since they're kind of down to two tight ends that they're using right now, and Pittman was asked, why was he suddenly open? And he said, well, we did a better job of scheming to get him open. So whatever Petrino's doing, I hope he keeps it up, because that was one of the big differences in this game is, getting this guy open, especially because he's a big, quick open target that, Taylor Green can get the ball to. I think the biggest issue here, guys, when you're going up against Ole Miss, and there was a huge discussion on the internet, and this is one of the most complicated things I've kind of had to consider over the last couple of years, and it's what's going on with the defense. Because on one hand, after two really bad weeks, statistic-wise, this defense has suddenly dropped all the way down to 13th in the SEC statistically, and that's not good. And they were giving up chunk plays. Now, you got to counter that with the fact that they really, in effect, forced 7 turnovers, because you got 5 turnovers and 2 fourth-down stops, and that was huge in the game. But on the other hand, they were losing containment. Pittman talked about that. We've got to stop losing containment on the outside. And he talked about in the past, when we've had missed tackles, we've had more guys around the ball. So against the number one offense in the league, you're going to have to do a better job of getting more people around the ball carrier, and then stop losing containment on the outside edges. And that has to be very concerning. That comes, on the other hand, with Arkansas now moving up to number 2 in the SEC in offense. And that is, to me, an amazing development for the people that, I don't know if you guys were paying any attention to this, but before that game was played, all this stuff about benching Taylor Green came back up. And it was on the websites, and a couple of these websites even offered that as a question. What do you think? Is it time to do this or not? Which I think was absolutely idiotic. And, of course, he had his best game as a Razorback. I mean, he was all over the place. And I thought he had improved. Everybody focused on that one bad mistake in the LSU game, but I thought other than that, he was looking really good in terms of doing what he hasn't been doing a lot of earlier in the year, and that is staying in the pocket, moving up in the pocket, finding his first option quickly, and delivering the ball on target. And now, he did run more in this game, and Sam Pittman said, yes, we limited him somewhat against LSU because we didn't want him to get hurt again, but they were confident enough in this Mississippi State game that they let him run more, so that made a difference. But he offered some other explanations about why the offense is so much better now. One of them is Kudus, who played his first game back from injury. And here's the deal, guys. He's only going to play in 4 games. He wants to be redshirted. And Pittman said he's going to do that. Well, he's already played in 1. That leaves 3 more left. And you've got 4 regular season games left, so which one do you not play in? Well, I think it's pretty obvious. 3 games from now, the Louisiana Tech game is the one I would say he's probably not going to play in. And then apparently the bowl game doesn't count. So Kudus has made a big difference so far. Tyrone Broden, who's now suddenly hanging on to balls that he was dropping earlier in the year, and Pittman said that's made a big difference. And then the emergence of Jordan Anthony as a speed wide receiver, and one of the best passes of the year was a touchdown to him in this game. So these are all things that kind of have this offense suddenly looking a lot better. 2 or 3 weeks ago, if you would compare offense to defense, you would say the defense is carrying this team. Right now, it looks like the offense is carrying the team.
Mike, I'm right there with you with number 5. I think he might be our best runner after the catch. And I know Armstrong's good, but 5 looks like he has an extra gear, like he runs violently. And then the youngster Anthony, man, that was a big time play, and not a lot talking about. If you remember this 7 route to Tesla, and he goes Taylor Green. If you watch the tape, he looks left, rotates his feet, looks again to the second read, and then bam, flips his hips, and then puts it right on the money. I thought it was Taylor Green's best game as a Razorback.
Yeah, I mean, he's suddenly, he's now number 3 in passing in the SEC, co-SEC Offensive Player of the Week. And if you look at, but I don't think, when we get into this debate about whether he should have been benched at any point, you can go back earlier in the year, and here's the truth about this. They've had 3 600-yard-plus games this year, and if you go back the previous 5 years, there were only 4 of them. He's made a difference this entire season. And the idea that he could be back next year, I don't know that he will, but that could get people excited. So the guy has made a big difference. The thing you have to be concerned, there's always bad with good, isn't there, guys? There just always is. So now we're all sitting around saying, well, what's going on with the defense? Can they get this turned around? Can they start getting better containment? Can you go back and start getting sacks? But remember, we were complaining because we weren't getting turnovers. Well, now they're getting the turnovers, but they're giving up all these chunk plays. But Pittman did say more than any other season he can remember, even it doesn't matter who the opponent is or who's playing, the team that wins the turnover battle is winning the game. And Arkansas is suddenly starting to produce turnovers.
That is the most identifiable thing, I think, from wins and losses. If you look at the differences, would definitely be turnovers and what it is you've done with those turnovers. They're going to go to a bowl game now, Mike. I mean, the Louisiana Tech game feels like a foregone conclusion. I know I shouldn't act like that, but I can't help it. And who knows what happens over these last 3 SEC games. I think they'll have opportunities to win each of them, to be honest, and I think they'll beat Missouri. We'll see what happens in these next 2 games against potential playoff contenders, but I don't want to put it in terms of is the pressure off this month, because it's not about pressure to just make a bowl game. You want to win every game that's in front of you. But there has to be maybe a little less pressure about the idea of keeping the program together. Yes or no?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the Fire Sam Pittman people can continue to complain, but you just don't have to listen to them anymore because it's not happening. And I could sit here and quote you some statistics that show that he's the best head coach they've had, even going all the way back to when Petrino, right after he was fired. You could make an argument for all of these things that have come after that. He's the best head coach they've had. And I just think he's here for however long he wants to be here. And then I don't know what happens after that, but they've got an opportunity to really close this season out strong. And if they do, I don't know how it affects the recruiting of high school players, but I think his ability to recruit out of the portal and this staff's ability to recruit out of the portal, I don't have any question in my mind that if they finish strong, they're going to have a strong team next year. And especially if Taylor Green comes back for another year, which he can, I think it would look very good for them next year.
Taylor Green's coming back. He's not ready. What about Braylon Russell, true freshman running back, his first start? Does he remind you at all of Barry Foster? Does he remind you at all maybe of Ronnie Brown of Auburn, trying to think of some bigger backs? How would you grade his first start, and is he going to be healthy?
Yeah, I think he's okay. I mean, Pittman joked that there really wasn't a problem there. He just ran out of gas. I don't think that's the case on that long run. I went back and looked at it, and he looked like, to me, I thought maybe he pulled a hammy or something. I think he probably just cramped up. He would have scored if that didn't happen. He shocked me with his speed. And I'm just going to say this because people offer their advice all the time. If he loses 10 pounds, just gets down to 240, that guy would be amazing because he's already got the power. And how much faster would he be to drop 10 pounds? He's the fastest 250-pound guy I've ever seen. So he's exciting. He's obviously, you'd want Jaquindon Jackson back. He's apparently still questionable, but some people were worried he was out for the year, and Sam Pittman said today, no, he will at least be back, the week for the next game. And I guess, what is that, Texas? I get my head.
Bye week then Texas.
Yeah, so he'd at least be back for that, and probably the rest of the year if he's okay. So you want to get him back. But they've got options now at running back, including R-Dub, who, if he could learn how to hang on to the football, he had a couple of where he went out of bounds and fumbled out of bounds, luckily, but he's got to learn to hang on to the ball. But they've got some backs right now. And then again, this change in the offensive line at left guard, I think, is very promising.
Last thing is we, are getting into this Ole Miss game already, because I think Ole Miss is like 25 or 30 times better than Mississippi State. Just tough to move the ball against them. They've got big play receivers, big play running backs, big play quarterback, and a team that hasn't necessarily played. Look, I mean, they have a good record. It's just, I guess a lot of folks were just expecting they'd be blowing teams out because of how they did in the portal and the idea of all the money that they potentially are spending on this team. But they got big plays on both sides of the ball. I mean, this can end up being one of the tougher games of the year, if not the toughest.
Yeah, Pittman pointed out they're not just good offensively; they're among the best in the SEC in defense. Here's what I think. That's just my opinion, but I think they looked past Oklahoma toward this Arkansas game, and it got them in trouble against OU. I made the very stupid statement on our game day show that OU Ole Miss game could end up being one of the biggest defeats OU has ever had, which is totally stupid considering the way they played. At one point they were ahead. It was a close game, and I think that's what happened. Ole Miss overlooked them, and they also made a change at quarterback, and so that game was a lot closer than expected. But fans looking at that game and thinking maybe Ole Miss is not what you think they are, I think they're wrong. I think Arkansas will get their best effort.
Mike, we'll leave it there. Appreciate your time. Thanks very much.
Thank you, guys.
Mike Irwin, Pig Trail Nation. He's with us each Monday on Halftime. Brought to you by Crabtree RV Center in Alma. Been serving our listening audience in the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas for over 7 decades. Crabtree RV Center, located at the junction of I-40 and I-49, right beside the Cracker Barrel. Make sure your family has the best experience choosing the perfect RV for your adventures. Got the service and parts department on site. Everything you need in between at Crabtree RV. Online at crabtreerv.com. Calls and texts on halftime as we get into the home stretch come in at 877-377-6963. We are right back.
This is Halftime. You can now download our new app in the iTunes or Google Play Store. Listen anytime and anywhere on your favorite mobile device. Just search Hit That Line now.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's #1 mobile app for placing sports wagers.
In Arkansas, 7 out of every $10 placed on a sporting bet app is with Bet Saracen, because Bet Saracen offers more ways to win and more ways to get paid, and faster. Find your winners on Bet Saracen and look for my Double R prop bet specials. I pick them and you win them.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's favorite sports wagering app.
Gambling problem? Call 800-522-4700.
You've got to watch your NFL team every Sunday, and Verizon's got you covered for all your team's out-of-market games every Sunday afternoon.
Come on!
From kickoff to sign-off, from first downs and touchdowns
right.
to turnovers and overturned plays.
After review, the pass was incomplete.
Let's go! This season, win every Sunday with Verizon. Get a great deal on NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV and a new phone. Excludes digital-only games. Terms and embargoes apply.
You're listening to Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
When a Newmeyer's involved, you know you're going to get great food and have an awesome time. Hey, Ty Richardson for Newmeyer's Rib Room and Beer Garden. They've been whipping up the best ribs, tamales, and smoked wings for years. Rib Room has live bands for you through the month of October and game day specials. For to-go orders, call 479-494-7427. Newmeyer's Rib Room and Beer Garden, located at 424 Garrison Avenue in downtown Fort Smith.
Valley Family Dental, formerly known as Riley Farm Dental, at the entrance to Riley Farms, provides every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family. Dr. Sparkman, Farmer, and now Dr. Blaine Van Nice work to give all of their patients better lives with a better smile. Valley Family Dental, now offering same-day crown service. Mention you heard this ad on ESPN Radio at your next appointment and receive a free bleaching kit or $100 off in-office accelerated whitening. Call 226-3500 for an appointment or visit valleyfamilydentalpractice.com.
Whether you're planting a tree in your backyard or trenching at a construction site, a call to 811 helps prevent dangerous damage to underground utilities and is the first step in keeping yourself and your community safe. Hitting a line can knock out service to your home and neighborhood, resulting in fines, damages, serious injury, or worse. Safety is in your hands. Call 811 before you dig. It's easy, it's free, and it's the law. This message is brought to you by Black Hills Energy.
After I drop the kids off, I have to run across town for a meeting, hit the gym during lunch. Jake has soccer tonight, and Emily has gymnastics? Oh, did I turn on the crock pot this morning?
With a never-ending to-do list, it's easy to forget something important, like setting up a life insurance plan with Shelter Insurance. Your local Shelter agent can show you how to create a safety net for your family. Shelter Life Insurance Company, Columbia, Missouri.
See Agent Chris Dooley in Fort Smith.
Hey, this is Chad Warner, product manager for Booyah Bait Company in Fort Smith, Arkansas. The hottest swim jig on the Arkansas River right now is the Booyah Mobster. It was designed by the Muddy Water Mob, a bunch of river rats from Arkansas and Oklahoma, and it's winning tournaments on Dardanelle and Kerr like clockwork. If you're fishing submerged vegetation, water willow, lily pads, you need a Booyah Mobster to reel them in. Available at lurenet.com and tackle stores throughout Arkansas and Oklahoma, the Booyah Mobster.
Walk-Ons is always a win, whether it's for a post-game celebration, drinks with the crew, or an easy weeknight dinner. Walk-Ons has you covered. Scratch-made dishes, wall-to-wall TVs, craft beers and cocktails. Dig into their mouth-watering menu items like po' boys, gumbo, and voodoo shrimp, plus fan favorites like juicy burgers and fresh salads. Find your nearest location in Rogers, Fayetteville, Fort Smith, Conway, and Little Rock, or order online or in the app. Walk-On Sports Bistro for the win.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game.
ESPN 95.3.
When I'm out walking, I strut my stuff, and I'm so strung out. I'm high as a kite, I just might stop to check you out. Let me go wild, like I glister in the sun. Let me go wild. Big hands, I know you're the one.
By halftime on 99.5 in Northwest Arkansas, 95.3 in Fort Smith and the River Valley, 96.3 in Hot Springs and Central Arkansas, 104.3 in Harrison and Mountain Home, and everywhere on hitthatline.com. Join the conversation. Call or text 877-377-6963. Now back to the hosts. Here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Back on halftime here, Matt. Have you seen the statue of who was it? It was Dwayne Wade outside the Heat Arena?
You know, in Deadpool, the Colossus, I think that's who that is with the silver jaw. That's who I thought. I was like, oh, they made an X-Men character. It was his face was. I get the whole that's my court. You know, I get the everything. It's like whoa, they missed on that because. Dwayne Wade, he's a good-looking dude, and whatever that statue was, that really wasn't a good-looking dude.
Look, I think that is probably I haven't seen a statue look less like the athlete than this one here. Do you see when was the one that was put up in Portugal of Cristiano Ronaldo?
That one was kind of goofy too. The casting, yeah, because that's he's a good looking dude as well. That was whoa. That no, I'm with you though. I'll second that, Phil. That's the worst facial statue of all these athletes that now, you know, that's what you get when you win a championship and kind of stay with a program more than 10 years. You get and I think he deserves it. I think rightfully so. Dwayne Wade, he's a first ballot Hall of Famer.
You just might want to cut the head off and start over at the head. So I've seen people say it looks like Lawrence Fishburne, but that would be if Lawrence Fishburne was in the movie with the War of the Titans or whatever it was, the Greek gods with Medusa, the one that had the snakes for hair that turns into a statue if you look at her. And he's screaming at the top of his lungs, "No, don't turn me into a statue." That's not Dwayne Wade. That is Lawrence Fishburne. Who knew Fishburne was such a good basketball player? But then again, if you've seen him in in the movies with your boy Keanu Reeves. If he could leap like that, he could probably dunk a ball too.
Lawrence Fishburne, he has some of his early work. He's definitely a gangster, man. He's been around for a while.
877-377-6963 to get with us here in halftime. Keith is with us here. What's up, Keith? How are you?
Man, I'm doing great. It's great to talk to you guys. Being a winner here, we're all winners this week after we faced and beat down the Bulldogs. Wanted to just weigh in a little bit here with Matt Jones, a.k.a. Mr. Tall Drink of Water, and Uncle Phil. Guys, it feels good this week mainly because we needed that one. I know people probably talked about it, but we needed that one. We needed to have a game in our belt going into this last stretch, and I give our boy Sam a lot of credit for that, but I'm going to give even more credit to Taylor Green. We saw that young man say, I'm going to win this game. I'm going to put this team on my back. I'm going to look as good as I have, if not the best. I think he looked the best of every game we've played, including the ones we don't even know their names because we can't. They're D7. He played phenomenal against an SEC opponent at their home place. I was over there with the old lady, and we were just loving it. Loved seeing him dominate. I like Braylon Russell, played a great game. Our guys, really good to see Luke Haas get involved. And just, guys, I can't tell you how nice it is to win these games where we're supposed to win them. And just want to give a lot of – go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say that I was just being a hype man for you there. Win the games you're supposed to win. They should have beaten Mississippi State last year in their own building, and your defense played well enough to do it. They should always beat Mississippi State, to be truthful about it, but that's the whole thing. It's you got to find a way to upset somebody along the way, but you have to win the games you're supposed to win. And I think, you're looking at Auburn, should win that game, did win that game. Mississippi State should win that game, did win that game. I just don't know if there's another one where, you expect Arkansas to be favored, but I do think there's another win or two out there.
I do too. I think you got to look. I know Missouri is going to be there at their place, but I think that's one I think we might could come away with. And I'm not even going to say the game I really want. We got to win against La Tech. Everybody knows that. But there's a game on our schedule. Oh boy, if I could go horns down, circa when Mr. Tall Drink of Water did it, whether it was edited or not, I don't care. That's one of the most iconic pictures I've ever seen. And if we could do some horns down in DWR after, and I'm gonna say this, I'm gonna be done because I'm getting my blood going. I gotta watch my blood pressure, but on a Monday morning. But let me tell you that Monday afternoon, what Sark said at SEC Media Day, and he says we hate them more than we love. This man said. Well, yeah, in my lifetime, you know what I am, boys, and y'all are too. We are, as Hog fans, undefeated against Steve Sarkisian. So all I know is I love being a winner, and I hope we keep that streak alive. Because I remember when he hit that. When y'all got to look back at that YouTube press conference, that man was shook for days after he went to DWR, and we rocked their world. Now they said we had this guy here, they had this guy here. Did they have Bijan on the field? Because my recollection was that they did. Now I may be wrong, but I sure do remember that first round draft pick being on there. So Steve Sarkisian, let me tell you something, brother. Y'all, we had you at night, and all my UT fans left that game. They were at that game, and they said this is they weren't Southwest Conference people. These people think that we're whatever stepchild. They said I can't believe that environment y'all had. We didn't want to be there at all. And I know it's early this next game, 11 o'clock, whatever we play them. Guys, if we can beat them again this year, ooh, Lord's just going to have to. I'm just going to start ascending up because I'm going to feel like I made it. I love beating them. I love sending Steve Sarkisian home with a loss. It felt good one time. If we can do it again, it'd be great. Guys, I appreciate your time. Thank y'all for letting me talk this afternoon. Go Hogs.
Okay, Keith, thanks for your call. 877-377-6963. He didn't want to say any of those things, Matt, but when I was like, hey, it's all right. People have been talking about the Texas game since the schedule come out. And then it just kind of – then it all came out from Keith all at once.
Maybe you could put some bolts on the neck of that statue with D-Wade, and we good? And then maybe it could be, it could be Frankenstein instead of D-Wade.
It looks more like Frankenstein than an athlete.
Oh my goodness.
That's for sure. Well, I don't blame you for not wanting to bring up too much of the Texas game because it's like, you knew that your schedule was backloaded with some of the toughest, probably the toughest teams you were facing this year. And outside of, hey, A&M right now, I think A&M is the best team you've played. LSU, I wouldn't say a close second necessarily, but with Ole Miss, Texas,
A&M, Phil, I think you're right. I think A&M's going to be in the SEC championship game. It's just who do they play? Who is A&M going to? When I look at their schedule, they have one loss on their schedule, and that's maybe at Texas. And they get Texas at home. They're not losing to South Carolina, New Mexico State, or Auburn.
But even with one loss, they could end up with like a tiebreaker over somebody.
I don't know how it all works out. The Georgia Texas game. The Georgia Ole Miss game could have something to do with it. Is LSU or they already got their 2 L's in conference play? Or
they have one.
They just have one. Yeah, I don't know how it works out. But A&M would hold the tiebreaker with LSU.
So
if Texas beat Texas A&M the last day of the week and LSU doesn't lose any more games, it would be A&M would hold the tiebreaker with LSU. How many losses would Texas have in conference play then if they didn't lose anymore?
Well, they would just have the one that they took
so
to Georgia.
It'd be Texas versus LSU.
It's just crazy. I'd have to look at the schedule
sorry,
and everything.
A&M.
Well, just thinking the idea of maybe 4 or 5 one-loss teams in this league, just on the league schedule itself, 4 or 5 one-loss teams, and what are the tiebreakers? I don't have them up in front of me, but I remember the first is head-to-head, and that makes sense. And then you go by your record against common opponents relative to the standings, and usually that's where things shake out. But, A&M, who do they have left? They get Carolina, Auburn, and Texas. I'm not counting their game against New Mexico State because these are league standings. Georgia, Florida, Ole Miss, Tennessee, and then they finish the season with 2 non-con games, UMass and Georgia Tech. Florida, Ole Miss, Tennessee, not the easiest in the world. I think Florida, they'll play well enough in this one. Who's Texas finished with? Florida, Arkansas, Kentucky, A&M. They got 4 games left in the league. LSU has Bama, Florida, Vandy, Oklahoma. Could be a couple of surprises there. They do get 3 of those games in Baton Rouge, and just the Florida game is on the road. And then Tennessee is a one-loss team too. Tennessee finishing with Kentucky, Mississippi State, Georgia, and Vanderbilt. Going to be a really kind of crazy finish here, where it would have made more sense as far as the standings are concerned with divisions. But if you like chaos, having 4 or 5 one-loss teams at the top of the standings should be just a heck of a lot of fun. Nothing quite like chaos in a college football season, basically a sport that defines chaos to begin with. Yeah, Bruce in Nashville sent in one of those losses. It's like these are the things that end up getting you fired. Losing to Liberty at home. That happened last year, of course. You haven't had those games right now. Now there is a game, the Oklahoma State game, that should have been an Arkansas win. Not only just based on what happened in that game, but looking at how badly Oklahoma State is struggling, at this point in the season, that should have been a win. We just didn't really know it at the time that Oklahoma State wasn't as good as we thought they were. Should have beaten Auburn, win that game. Should have beaten UAB, win that game. Not a lot of folks thought Arkansas should have beaten Tennessee, so there's your surprise. You should beat Mississippi State. You took care of that. I don't know if there are any more shoulds. It's those games that end up blowing a program up. Haven't had it happen this year. Quick break on halftime. We're going to come back, wrap the show up right after this.
Jones, don't be so cool, dude.
This is halftime.
After I drop the kids off, I have to run across town for a meeting, hit the gym during lunch. Jake has soccer tonight, and Emily has gymnastics? Oh, did I turn on the crock pot this morning?
With a never-ending to-do list, it's easy to forget something important, like setting up a life insurance plan with Shelter Insurance. Your local Shelter agent can show you how to create a safety net for your family. Shelter Life Insurance Company, Columbia, Missouri.
Call Jeff Clark in Fort Smith or Brad Howe in Van Buren. COP CDL Academy is a licensed Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration that provides the federal required training to obtain both Class A and Class B CDL licenses. Our program provides assistance with employment after graduation. We have finance and grant options available. Students straight out of class have started new careers earning $70,000 to $140,000 per year, and training is provided for all 50 states. Call today, 479-632-1050, COP CDL Academy.
Brothers Roofing and Restoration, a licensed and insured local roofing contractor in Arkansas. Since his playing days for the Hogs, Brother Alexander has been on rooftops, many years as an adjuster, and in the past decade as a roofing contractor. He knows how to help you through the insurance process while replacing your roof using only the industry's best materials. And being a lifelong Arkansan, he'll be here to stand behind his workmanship and warranty. Call 479-353-3877 to arrange a time for Brother and his team to inspect your roof.
At Arvest Bank, we believe in the power of serving others. That's why we're committed to working with and supporting those who serve our communities. From the ones who are making a difference in big and small ways every day, to those who are helping create better tomorrows. We appreciate everything you do, and we're proud to work alongside you. Because every community deserves a financial partner who cares. Arvest Bank. We believe.
This is Coke Zero Sugar. Could I be the best Coke ever? Try and taste with your ears. Hear those bubbles? Imagine them tingling on your tongue. Fizzy deliciousness. Listen to that cascading liquid. A mouth-watering waterfall. Irresistibly tasty. Zero sugar. Crisp, refreshing, and ice cold. Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? Try and decide.
Hi folks, Larry Rath here for Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, where we are rolling out Rath Auto Relief. Now through midnight on Halloween, get up to $1,500 Rath cash when you purchase any one of our Rath Road Ready vehicles. Use it to pay your sales tax, get extra for your trade, or just take it right off the price. Plus, follow us on Facebook for fun-free giveaways every week. Rath Auto Relief, one more reason all the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath. Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, Fort Smith.
The best things in life never change. They just get better, like Hardee's Original Bag, just $6.99. Loaded with fries, a drink, and 2 full-size favorites. A juicy charbroiled double cheeseburger, melty hot ham and cheese sandwich, or crispy hand-breaded chicken tender wrap. Choose any 2 plus fries and a drink, all only $6.99. Hardee's Original Bag, loaded with handcrafted goodness. It's the greatest meal deal for your buck. Available for a limited time at participating restaurants.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Before I die, I'd like to do something nice. Take my hand, I'll take it for a ride. You hit me yesterday because I made you cry. So before we die, I'd like to do something nice. I want to buy you something.
Welcome back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Got a question or comment for the guys? Call or text 877-377-6963. Let's get back to the show with the voice of Arkansas Razorback baseball, Phil Elson, and Razorback football legend Matt Jones.
All right, wrapping things up here. Remember about Monday Night Football tonight, Steelers and Giants. Bet Saracen has Pittsburgh -6. It was -5 when the show started, so The money's going towards the Berg. They've also got the best odds on the World Series game tonight. Yankees minus 150 as it shifts over to New York. And the Dodgers with the 2-0 lead. Pitching matchup will be Walker Buehler for the Dodgers, Clark Schmidt for the Yankees. That is an all-SEC pitching matchup. Buehler from Vanderbilt, Schmidt from South Carolina. And I still remember watching them both pitch against Arkansas. Buehler in 2015, Schmidt in 16. So it's more evidence that the SEC is like a mini major league. And, yeah, I was looking at this Monday night game. I told you earlier, Matt, that the last time the Steelers lost a Monday night home game, I was there in 91 as a 14-year-old Steelers fan to see Giants 23, Steelers 20. Can't imagine the same thing will happen this time around. I think that was not a great Giants team. The year after they won a Super Bowl, they finished 8-8, but I think they're better than this year's Giants.
Exciting time. You're right, man. October, what an exciting month of sport. And it just keeps getting bigger, badder, and they only get more fast and furious. Who do you got tonight? I got the Yankees bouncing back, the Bronx Bombers. I think they hit at least 4 home runs tonight as a team. Oh, and so, yeah, I got the Yankees all day tonight.
Yeah, Buehler's been good, but there's like an inning for him in each game that things can get a little bit out of hand. And this is a lineup that can do that. But I'll say this. If Judge doesn't really start getting it going, I don't know if New York's going to be able to overcome this 2-0 disadvantage. Because if your star is, I don't have his stats.
Well, that's it, though.
I think he's sitting like under 100.
Your stars have to be stars in the World Series, and then you hope that your other players can elevate themselves a little bit. But if your stars don't do it, I mean that's just in all the sports, especially when it gets down to to hang a banner.
That's right, and that's what this series is about. It's about you could look at how many potential Hall of Famers are in this World Series, and we might not have seen anything quite like it in our lifetime. So the stars are expected to be the stars. And, man, I mean, I'll be interested to see what Ohtani looks like, what that swing looks like, because the subluxation of the left shoulder, even if it isn't as severe as initially thought, there's no way 2 days later he can swing with the same kind of power and the same kind of bat speed. So I think it changes the Dodgers quite a bit. And that's where we'll leave halftime for today. Tomorrow on halftime, we're going to be joined by Alyssa Orange from Pig Trail Nation, and we'll have Bill King, Nashville Sports Radio, at about 1:15, wide open first hour as well. So we'll have a lot of time to converse. We'll also be debuting a brand new segment tomorrow, Fugazi, and see what teams across college football or the sports landscape we think might be a little bit fake. Ruskin and Zach are coming up in just a few minutes. The Eastside Liquor halftime podcast is ready for download very, very soon, and we'll be back with you tomorrow for that award-winning edition of Halftime. For Matt Jones, Kristen Johnston, Colton Little, I'm Phil Elson. We appreciate you listening to Halftime today. Now, get up, get out, and get better.